Oh, crashed again.
Oh no.
Oh, damn. Oh, have you crashed as well?
I'm good over here. All right. Well,
It seems like it's okay here.
yeah, we're all good. Might as well get
No,
going.
nothing's happening on my screen. It's just crashed.
You know what? You can try starting over if you like. In the meantime,
Yay, Pug!
never was that more appropriate. Let's hear some cheers for these folks.
Woohoo!
David, you rock! Synaptic, woohoo! Darren! Malcolm!
You did wonderful, guys.
You guys just rock. That is
Knocked it out of the park.
that is the list of our fine supporters over on Patreon, and we do appreciate that. And
Living
anyway,
on the edge.
some of you may have noticed the in the opening that little advertiser unfriendly thing that came up. Would anyone care to guess what that's all about?
We want drama. We want drama.
Yeah, I encountered it from the side that I had to remove my links to my Patreon because I'm not reaching the magic 10,000 yet.
We've been we've been going for a year, and somebody finally settled upon us, and apparently we are every movie night is apparently advertiser unfriendly, and as such should not be showing ads. Now
I can't imagine why.
Are you saying that they actually watched one of the shows?
Apparently, and
Is it algorithm?
Actually, I get the impression I'm getting is this is actually manual reporting by some idiots.
Really?
That would be my expectation. This thing is blah 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 blah, and then they fed that to the algorithm, and the algorithm went. See ya.
Right.
See let's see. Paranor. Yeah. I was thinking it might be a bot just because how every one of the movie nights was covered. But what was also listed as advertiser unfriendly, oddly enough, was an interview we did with Sam Grover of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. No indecency.
I think that nowadays anything that they deem controversial is advertiser unfriendly. So I mean that was about religion, and so therefore advertiser unfriendly.
Maybe that being the case, I mean it's okay. It's not.
So it's open season on religion then. Is that what you're saying?
They're cracking down on people that like atheists that question like Muslims and Christian ideology.
Hello, can I get a word in here as well, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Right.
To answer your question, Jim, it wasn't you guys. It wasn't even necessarily us. It was some group of somebody's taking offense at the things we were covering and the bullshit we were exposing.
In all probability. Anyway,
Yeah.
I would like to say, don't let it worry you. I mean, obviously everybody's here because we love doing this, and the 18 cents a day that was coming in.
You have to cancel that trip now.
It's more of it was more of an insult than anything. But anyway,
Keep that up, and you can buy a candy bar.
Indeed. Yeah, well,
I got a whole bunch of.
So that means we can't send any flat earthers to space then.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not for at least another
Not
week.
this year.
Poor B.O.B.
Oh yeah, there's one.
I had high hopes for him.
Yeah.
High is definitely appropriate. For all right. Well, tonight we have. You've seen the show; it's crap. And we're and we're going to do our best to dismember it to the greatest extent possible.
Well, yep. And actually, today's show looks like it's going to be something of a potpourri.
Indeed, we have a bit of a mix. So we'll do a.
Although I have to say that because we're not monetized now, the quality of the writers we've been able to employ have actually decreased a little bit. So
yes.
Just to point that out.
It's good that we made that clear. That is a good thing.
No, right. Parador, we're going to take it off. We're going to take it off at the root.
Come on, Means Parador. We need your jokes in the side chat as much as possible.
Yes, as many and somebody keep track of the extremely humorous stuff in the side chat because I think I missed a few in the last show. Thanks to you guys call and drink every 3 seconds. But.
Hey, those drink demands were well deserved. Damn it!
Oh, absolutely. But anyway, we do want to make sure we don't miss any good ones because the folks deserve their mitts. Damn it!
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, first up, and well, at least it's not a long one. First up, we have. I guess
we have 10 minutes. We have a little over 10 minutes of an old friend of mine.
Ah, yeah. This is entitled.
I call him an old friend, but really he just chipped out my comment section, so I figured I'd give you guys a shout at it.
Good enough. Here we go. It's I Talk to the Wind, Geocentric Universe by Ekin Reckon, and this one only clocks in at 10:39. So I mean, how long could it? I don't believe. I don't believe I was about.
It won't take that long.
I don't believe I was about to say that.
I may be a little cynical.
He is terrifyingly stupid, but he does tend to space these points out a little bit.
All right.
So a little, yes. Ekin Reckon.
Ekin Reckon.
For those of you who have ever been familiar with my channel, I have actually done this video myself once.
What? You've got a channel? You're gonna have to tell people about that when we do shameless plugs.
I do that.
We're gonna have to tell them again. In case they forget. All right, let's bring on. Where the hell is Ekin? There we go. Here's Ekin Reckon. Found him, and here's him talking to the wind or whatever.
What about it, YouTube?
Oh my!
All right, geocentrism. There's a movie coming out real soon called The Principle.
Drink.
Okay, Squirrel called that first. Oddly enough, what do you got, Squirrel?
Wearing sunglasses indoors under a ceiling fan. Bad plan, dude.
Okay.
Except if you're related to Tom Petty, which he clearly.
Well, he's clearly not, and Tom Petty's dead anyway. So.
I just wanted to say, turn your phone sideways because you look stupid.
Oh, that's another good call.
I don't think he's going to look any less stupid if he turns it horizontally.
This is Parador. This is not Lord Stephen Christ. He's actually not making any such claim. This is Ekin Reckon, and like I said, he chipped out when I covered this video years ago. Go for it.
All right, here we go.
I'd like everybody to try and check it out if you can. In the meantime, you can Google geocentrism. You can check out Malcolm Bowden's videos. You can check out these guys who are making this movie called.
Okay, Squirrel.
Malcolm Bowden is another individual I'm going to bring up around here. No, that was not a mispronunciation. Over time, I'm planning on doing a lot of work on that louse.
Okay.
I already know about old Malcolm Bowden, and you want to see a connection. Philip Johnson, the intelligent design guy, became convinced of the problems with human evolution by reading, drum roll, Malcolm Bowden.
Okay, RJ, when I get about covering Malcolm on the new channel, you're coming with me because we're going to have that conversation.
And not just for that kick-ass drum roll impersonation you did. It's the knowledge too. All right, moving on. Here we go. I hope there's something involving magnetism tonight because that's another one of RJ's specialties. Here we go.
Good luck with that.
The Principle, and it's very, very interesting. And I'm going to throw in my own 2 cents that comes from my own common sense that expands upon their work. Okay, which I hope you all go check out because the science is there. Here's Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe showing that...
Oh, this is one of your favorite guys, Squirrel. Squirrel, you're up. What do you got?
Right. First off, dumbass, it's Tuco. It's Tuco Brahe. So get over yourself, cockbag. Move it.
All right.
He's my favorite wingnut paranoid astronomer with a silver nose.
See, here's the thing. See, the thing with Tuco Brahe is that he didn't actually have the capacity to make the declarations he did. He didn't have the tools he needed to actually see what was going on. Carry on.
Aha, carrying on.
He actually died he died shortly before the telescope was invented, is what happened here. So he did some astounding work using the human eyeball.
So NASA killed him, you're saying?
Well, there's a lot of it. That is actually a live conspiracy, not a popular one, but I've heard it before. I've heard that one before.
Retro causality. Okay, here we go.
There's a sexier model than the Ptolemaic model that is geocentric. I'd check out Tycho Brahe, definitely. And here's my common sense deal, alright? Here's the common sense deal, alright? The religion of scientism and...
Drank scientism. Doesn't exist.
Yep.
Galileo, Copernicus, the rest of it.
We have a scientism church right up on our block. We go and sacrifice thesauruses there every weekend.
This tells you that the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour around like this to create the days.
Wait,
okay.
Okay.
Right off the bat, you should start to say, wait, 1,000 miles per hour is faster than the speed of what? Sound. Sound is what air travels through, right? So,
yeah,
okay.
kind of like what happens in your brain.
No,
Yeah,
Sound is what air travels through.
Yeah, you heard it. Squirrel heard it. Squirrel said
sound is what air travels through.
Is he one of these people that also forget that the atmosphere is a barrier between us and space? So we don't feel the effects. But never mind.
Yeah, I
You
think
have no idea.
That's his common sense working.
Dude, you have no freaking clue.
Indeed.
You have no idea. Let's let the guy bury himself a little bit more here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Fair
enough.
I just couldn't let the sound is what air moves through slip by. So anyway, here we go.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
The sad part of it is when I covered it, I actually missed that one.
Oh, that's odd. Okay, here we go.
somehow or other you've got this air that coats the Earth
somehow
as it spins 1,000 miles an hour, right? And somehow there is zero effect. In fact, there is a negative effect of the Earth's spin. Okay, you're spinning this way actually here because this is going east to west.
Okay, squirrel.
Okay, first off, click.
Ah, jeez. We are bringing in the clicks. Okay.
You don't know Jack.
Gravity, you fucking retard. Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity?
Not to mention,
Gravity!
not to mention no effect.
And that inertia.
Septicorial effect. There we go.
Yes, Nick.
So the
Yeah.
sun in there. Okay, here's the sun, and here's the Earth hauling balls.
Not to
like
scale.
this. 1,000 miles an hour. Okay,
No.
that's the speed of sound.
You don't get it, RJ. He actually thinks that is to scale.
What did Jaren help? Jaren help him with the scale? Is that what's going on?
My sun is a beautiful green thing with fuzz on it.
Woohoo!
Allows the atmosphere and the air to not only travel as fast as the Earth around, but actually up to and around 100 miles per hour faster, which is our jet stream, which travels in the same direction as the science.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think what's happened here is he's overdubbed this. He's overdubbed this particular video, and this is actually video from when he went to the doctors last time, and he was just explaining his condition.
Could very well be. All
Apply
right.
just as well to proctology. I would agree.
Actually, believe it or not, crypto, that tennis ball does have a hole in it, and that's because that's where he stuffs what's left of his brain while he's making these videos.
At least now we know what it's for. All right.
That's not a moon. That's supposed to be the sun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after all, brain is what the space moves through.
Yeah.
Religion of heliocentrism, acentrism teaches that is that our jet stream travels up to 100 miles an hour.
Okay. Sam's got it.
That's no moon. That's a death ball.
Well done. Well done. All right.
Much as I'd like that to happen, Jim Shin, I don't think that's what's going to work.
All right. There we go. He's on the list. Sam, you're on the list. You know the rules. You know what to do. Mid for Sam. Yes, Brian. Mid for Sam. All right. Here we go.
And everybody's riffing off it now.
Here we go.
Yes, I'm afraid you'll find this tennis ball is quite operational, Tim reminds us.
Parador says, I must say, Ekin Reckon has nice finger work on those balls. He must practice a lot.
He's used to the fuzzy part.
Given what he had to say on my channel, in my comments, I think probably that's about the extent of his intelligence.
All right, here we go.
Fount of erudition.
There we go.
Oh, you don't even know, dude.
This way, right? Here's North America, and here's the jet stream. Goes west to east, and here's the spin of the Earth, right? Same direction. How is that going to happen? How is the air going to actually overcompensate the Earth's spin? What's the mechanism that's going to do?
All right, I drink, but does it really even...
The big bally sun thing.
Does it really...
Gravity.
The air,
when you're feeling down and you can't get up, gravity.
Okay, for those of you who have not seen my original takedown, there is a link for it.
We've got uneven heating and cooling across the globe. This is not rocket science yet. This is simple science. As a matter of fact, this is something to put on the Simple Science channel. Anyway,
this is called thermodynamics.
Indeed. Here we go.
Do that. That's my common sense question right there. And then if you want to take it a step further, you can start asking questions about, like, how come there's not a weight difference if you're standing?
Okay, you're up.
Yeah, I just want to ask him, with this music going on, I just want to ask him, floor 9, please.
Well done.
Say you're standing right here, all right, or you're standing right here, right? Because right here is spinning. The centrifugal force should be throwing you off the planet at 1,000 miles an hour. It should be throwing you off the planet enough that there would be a weight difference, a perceived weight difference, in their theory of gravity. They don't fully understand yet either.
What the hell?
Okay, so that.
There we go. Sorry about that.
It's possessed.
It's just so it would seem.
Possessed. Yeah, I think OBS is trying to get through this as quickly as possible. First off, the centripetal force that you would experience standing on this freaking ball, well, it's an oblate spheroid, but that's just semantics at the moment. We're close enough for government work. The centripetal force is only like a whole lot less than that of gravity.
Indeed.
It is way weaker.
Like the Earth is really, really big,
and the centripetal force is very tiny.
Indeed.
Oh my, I am so disappointed. I thought his common sense was going to resolve all of the science of the last 500 years. I am dashed.
He did indicate that was going to happen, but all right, here we go.
That's my thing, okay? So, besides all of the experiments you'll never hear about that point to geocentrism, there's no...
Yeah, the experiments you'll never hear about because they're crap.
Really?
Actually, most of us have heard about them, and we realize that the null hypothesis is a thing.
Indeed.
Observable effect that would coincide with that theory when it comes to the weather and the winds. Okay? I contend that if their theory was correct, there'd be no way that life above the sea floor, above sea level could exist, because you're asked to be blown to oblivion from the 900 mile per hour plus winds that we're going to be blowing your ass away.
Drink, asked, and answered. No need to go into it.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got air here. What's going to make the air move around the Earth? Okay, and
Drink. Friction.
Drink.
Try friction.
Wind.
It's-
Wind. People just bullshitting and causing undue amounts of wind.
Okay, I was thinking precisely that. The amount of bullshit emanating just from his little room because of that is more than enough to produce hurricanes.
You know, that.
Okay, here's this. How far into this video are we, Si?
We are almost halfway through, to be honest.
Yep.
Yes.
Just
Clipping along.
You see, here's the thing. It's going to get worse. A lot worse.
They always save the crap for the end, don't they?
Sub-Zero 39, his name is Ekin Reckon, and his videos are still up.
To sing.
No, he won't, but he'll stop short of that.
All right. There we go.
Is he gonna sing?
Moving on.
Heard these guys say, like, you take a cup and you put it in water and you spin the cup and you'll see the water start to go down. The water never goes faster than the cup, and there's a different coefficient of friction when it comes.
What was that word?
Friction?
Coefficient.
English is not this person's first language, is it?
No, apparently not.
At least, friction, and yes,
I mean that
first language.
that is just Freudian for I know it's a fiction.
Yeah.
Crypto, no.
Science friction.
All right.
Crypto, no. This is not the stupid part. This is the bright part.
All
This
right.
is the intelligent part. Just wait.
You
right.
mean he's going to overcome the force of coefficient?
He's going to overcome the force of he's going to overcome the Eric Hovind-Canham coefficient.
Oh, that's really okay.
Well, we
All
already
right.
know he admires Malcolm Bowden, so he sure got points in my book.
All right, time for public service announcement then. Anyone who is presently in possession of a ScienceStrikeforce facial protection device, aka oven mitt, now might be the time to put it on. All right, here we go.
One more thing, please move your chair back away from the screen and remove any and all sharp objects near your person. You may retain one only bottle of paint thinner, whatever you happen to prefer. Just don't get close to the screen. I'm not replacing broken monitors.
No,
because that will happen.
You know, I didn't think of that. That this showing these videos.
May vary.
This is a serious liability issue. You're right.
In Delaware.
Good point. Okay, moving on.
Comes to water and a cup than there is with a solid like the Earth and air. Much bigger difference in coefficient friction. Okay, so that's retarded.
Except that, Except that we've had so many years for the friction to take effect and everything to move as it is.
All right. So what's the other explanation is that the Earth and the ether is traveling around each day, causing the days, right? Now, if the Earth is traveling around, causing the Earth and the days, like here's the sun traveling this way, right? My contention is that there may be, and Tycho Brahe said that there was a little bit of movement in the Earth, but not much. And I would contend that the movement in the Earth.
I love when you use the scientific units like that.
Is being drugged slightly in this direction by the ether and the sun to where you have that 100-mile-per-hour effect of wind going underneath the Earth as it's being drugged by the
drink.
Okay, squirrel.
Has anybody noticed the one just completely amazing thing? He's gone from 1,000 to 900 and now to 100 miles per hour.
Well, I think now he's referring to the jet stream. I think that's where he wedged that in.
He is not being clear about this.
No.
I'm kind of thinking that the not being clear thing is something that's going to occur perpetually from the beginning to the end of this. So that's kind of like default.
This might be a thing. You're right. You are quite right.
To be perfectly honest, like I said, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And the best part of this video is when it ends.
And
in the
leaking out of his ears.
No. Once he turns off the camera, then it gets better.
Okay. Well, here we go.
900 miles per hour slower, but still being drugged by the effect of the ether and the universe and all of the pole, gravitational, whatever you call it, that's somehow perfectly balanced around us, and magically, because monkeys fuck each other and made humans. Anyway, going off into some other stupid shit, but this is the idea.
Right, let it go.
Here you have the sun and all of the universe traveling this direction because of
Tim Cooney.
Tim Cooney.
I gotta
Tim
call a drink. Cooney says, sorry, no dice on translation. My Babel fish drowned itself because this is so stupid.
All right, Tim.
Oh!
Tim, guess what? You made the list. You made the list. You know what to do. There we go. Let me just...
shit biscuits. Yeah, no, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree there, Meta. Just poor thing.
All right. Mitt for Tim. Nice. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Unmonetized. Here we go.
Here's North America, so here's the sun. And then it's getting a slight drag on it this way. Right. And that slight drag is causing
drag
air
race.
Slightly this way, right? That would explain the jet stream.
That explains it all.
That would explain the weather patterns. Right. It would explain why there isn't hellacious winds. That would explain why Tesla
crypto.
And I don't know how many of the people in classical astronomy and Tycho Brahe and the rest of them were correct. Does
anyone have any idea that Tesla was a geocentrist? I haven't heard that one.
Not only was he not a geocentrist, he was not an astronomer either.
Yeah, I mean, like the little fuss potty bits there. But of course, this is a man who admires Malcolm Bowden. Sure.
Yes, we know. That's sad. It's sad and unfortunate, but memes are cancer. No, I don't think he's on it. If he is, he's certainly not on enough of it.
And he certainly hasn't succumbed enough.
Yes, he's not. He needs more dihydrogen monoxide.
You know, I've recently come into possession of some information that has indicated to me that just about everybody is just flooded with that crap.
Yeah, I know, right?
Indeed.
They even use it in nuclear reactors. Did you know that?
That they do. That they do. It is.
And all sorts of really
quantity, it'll kill you, man.
Indeed. And for God's sake, don't breathe it. If you breathe it, that's very bad. Anyway, Steve, what did you miss? Congratulate yourself. That's the you missed. You're gonna.
You missed having about 5 minutes of your life irrevocably tainted.
Indeed, and actually, you're probably going to be somewhat sad that you're going to have to hear the rest of this. But here we go.
Parallax and when you view stars, and I mean, you guys need to Google geocentrism so you can start to learn about this shit. Have an open mind. I know that we're all behavior modified to just believe whatever we're fucking told in school, but have a fucking open mind and ask tough questions like mine about the wind and about the difference in gravity and
tough
shit.
Questions.
You know what I mean?
Mind is so open and fell out quite a long time ago.
I'm surprised I'm the only one that comes up with the common sense shit, but there's other shit that's much.
Did you notice, and this is not a drink moment, did you notice almost every time somebody uses the appeal to common sense, it's when they're pushing bullshit?
Yep.
It's
not people on Earth who have ever displayed common sense.
Not just with these folks, with politics, anytime someone has a wacky ass idea they want to jam past you, they'll just say it's common sense. That way you're supposed to think, well, geez, I don't agree.
All he needs to add is believe me.
Yeah, indeed. There we go.
It's a tennis ball with a hole for it.
Tennis ball with a hole in it, and I don't know if it has a little wig or not. But anyway, here we go.
Deeper.
Here's my little friend, the little son. Hello, would you like to say hello?
Wilson! All right.
Morley and the Sagnac effect, and the Michelson, whoever the hell else experiment
Michelson Morley.
Michelson, whoever the hell.
Towards. Against what
Pronounce things correctly when you're disparaging science you don't understand.
When they went into these experiments, they were hoping to prove heliocentrism, you know, this shit going on. They were hoping to explain that. This direction, though. Yeah, they were hoping to explain that.
Either way.
Instead, it kept coming back wrong. They came up with the theory of relativity. It falls on its face in a million different ways. But anyway, everybody wants to jack off to Einstein when Tesla was the
Okay, that's I don't think anybody wants to do that. I think that's not true.
Real deal. But beyond that, check out this Earth real quick. Again, I'm just gonna throw in as a last caveat to this video. Once again, my groundbreaking discovery of the mechanism.
Okay, I'm predicting that whatever he says next.
Okay. Groundbreaking. My God, Edgar's going to be jealous.
I'm predicting that whatever.
Okay, this is where the bomb's going to drop now.
However,
this is where the stupid officially starts.
However, he just said a caveat.
Yeah.
To his
Steven,
video.
relativity has never fallen on its face. After he's had enough drinks, it will.
What do you think the probability that he's not exactly sure what the word caveat means? And anything that comes after this is not going to be any kind of
caveat emptor.
Yeah, it's.
Anyway, I think what it's going to be is his theory. His caveat is going to be his theory.
I don't.
Okay,
see how
that's my prediction.
Oh, I agree, but I don't see how that could be, knowing what a caveat actually is.
Can't have a theory. He doesn't have an egg or tissue paper.
Mr. Unite.
Well, I'm using the word theory in the same way that a creationist would.
Mr. Unite for the Children, please do not add spoilers. No spoilers. You've actually seen my version of this video.
All right. Here we go.
That caused the flood and the oceans and the sedimentary layer and the fossil record and the mass extinction of great fauna and the stretch marks and in the fresh basin seafloor of the ocean and the continental shelves. Okay, all of it. All right.
All that geological cellulite.
You can go to Neil Adams. You can see how the Earth fits together like a puzzle, a quarter of the size. Okay, quarter of the size. You got an Earth, roughly around, right? And then, as it says in Genesis.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how they knew. Whatever. It says that the seas were trapped underneath the dry land. It says it in Genesis 1, and those seas that were trapped underneath the dry land became superheated. Okay, at some point they became superheated. They came out of solution. When they came out of solution, they rushed out from the Earth, expanded the Earth like a piece of popcorn, like a popcorn kernel popping. Boom. Here comes the Earth. Boom.
Okay, Drake.
The Big Bang.
The Redenbacher theory.
Absolutely. Your Redenbacher theory. That's just it. He's not done.
That is frightening.
Yeah,
he's not done yet.
There's only one word he's missed out.
Hold on. Because I actually called Drake for a reason.
Okay.
Okay. Water cannot come out of solution. Water is the solution.
Well, this is not the problem. This is the solution. You don't want the solution. And plus, if it hasn't been successed.
That is indeed. I'm hitting play.
That happens. Out rushes all this water that rains back down. All right. Okay. Causes sedimentary, all that. Okay. Settles into the seafloor basin, causes the ocean.
Okay, yeah, you're as eloquent as Trump.
Accounts for all of the historical records of what happened. Check out a topographical map without the oceans, and you'll see the stretch marks that I'm talking about.
Stretch marks.
Also, again, would it make any sense if the Earth, like they tell you in scientism, had all this mass of land all on one side gobbled up into a Pangea supercontinent?
Okay.
Wait. No. Let him go.
Let him have his Drake moment. He did
okay,
call
fine.
it.
Okay.
He did call it.
Well, I was just going to say, it seems to me that this comes down to his mechanism, which he's explained as boom. And I guess onomatopoeic mechanisms don't really count.
Oh, okay, go back about 10 seconds so we make sure.
I just want to say the fact that he's fondling the Northern Hemisphere way too much.
So. All right, 10 seconds back, you say? Okay. All right.
10 seconds back. So we got to make sure you get this one correct.
All
you got to make sure you listen to him completely through here because he's going to say something that is even stupider than he just said.
That's pretty frightening, but okay. Here, I'll start here then, just so we don't miss it. Here we go.
He seems to have gone to the Walmart and picked up all of the stupid he could find when they were on sale.
Quiet, RJ.
Or Big Lots. Okay, here we go.
They tell you in scientism had all this mass of land all on one side gobbled up into a Pangea supercontinent, and then what? The Earth's not going to like wobble like hell, like as in their scientism is spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and all the mass is on one side, right? like a big booger on that side of the fucking planet. And then what's gonna come around to allow that centrifugal force and wobble and shit to suddenly just break apart evenly and form, you know, a spread of the continents. Okay.
Okay,
My theory
Drake.
says,
All right.
Is it a cold?
That is correct. Yes, folks, you heard it here first. The Pangea supercontinent was a great big booger.
Great big or great big pimple, and then the pimple popped, and of course all that pseudoscience. Of course, we're not going to want to suspect that Mr. Super Duper guy has not actually worked out how absolutely trivial the mass of the continents are relative to the mass of the big ball they're resting on.
Yeah, of course.
Indeed. That was
Basically what scientists refer to is the booger-nose relationship.
Yeah.
By this logic, every time he gets a small booger, he should fall over because he's suddenly unbalanced in terms of mass.
That's true.
Yeah, I know, right?
He'll just wobble. Okay.
At least his nose should fall off.
Something like that. All right. Well,
Says, as a geologist, it's up to his obligation to find this guy and kick him in the nuts and shove that tennis ball up his ass. May we watch?
Fino, I did not say I said the Pangea supercontinent. Don't be silly. Okay.
Yes, as opposed to the vagina supercontinent. Yeah, well, that's before the stretch marks.
All right. Here we go. Come on. There's 38 seconds left. There can't be. Let's see.
The Booger Redenbacher theory. Melagris Fila says it down.
Indeed. All right, here we go.
that the shit popped. And that's why you got the spread, that's why you got the stretch marks, that's why everything fits like a puzzle, okay? Their theory says that, again, centrifugal force of 1,000 miles an hour, somehow or other, shit just starts to float around over millions.
Okay, nobody says that. Nobody.
Like tectonics, moron.
Millions
Oh,
of years.
oh no! You have to remember the extraordinary monograph this man delivered at the Geophysical Union on geological stretch marks.
That's right. On February the 35th, 1867.
All righty. Couple seconds left.
Because they said so, that's why. Because their opinion is a time machine, right? Okay, good stuff tonight, right?
Oh, yeah.
Boom, learned a lot about the Earth, didn't we?
Great stuff.
Check it out. The Principle movie is coming out. It's going to piss off a lot of scientism religious retards.
Oh yeah, they're going to be really pissed off on that to the extent that they ever even notice that you exist on the unbalanced planet that you live on.
Indeed. All right. Well, that was... okay, that's really all I can say about that.
Tao said he wanted to know the name of the channel of this tar. Dare you tell him?
It's called Ekin Reckon.
Ekin Reckon. Yeah, E-K-O.
Ekin Reckon.
Just write it in the chat to somebody, so because he don't need an addition to pass on my show.
Not a problem. All right. Very good. Let's see what else we have. Well, let's see. Crap.
Is it videos as opposed to does he ever do aerial?
Crap.
What? As far as I know, he just does these.
I'm very impressed. I mean, he's managed to grow, almost grow a moustache there.
I'm a little confused about. He just said something about religious people, but he used the Bible as a fucking reference.
That is true.
In theory, I'm confused by that.
I mean, the fact he's calling theists retards is just beyond me.
Well,
Atheism is unstoppable. Till 245 BC. That is the date of the flood. How nice. Reading off the shtick off of Google here.
Hold on a second. Let me just grab this here, and I will give you guys a link to my video, which has a link to his video in the description.
Okay.
Go for it.
We're doing
you can go visit the video.
We're doing
shameless
plugs a little early
in total
tonight.
if you want to. I won't stop you.
we're doing shameless plugs a little early tonight, I see. All right.
Well, no, that's just it. Somebody wanted to know what somebody asked where his channel was. That's the best way I can.
That was that was it.
Indeed.
And up above there.
All right, now we have three other things I guess we'll just call him that. We've got, let's see, hopefully Paul's going to be around a little later. Maybe we do have some Hovind. We have some Kent Hovind.
Woo!
That'll be that's
Hovind.
Why don't we also have something queued up from our good friend Geraniurism.
Let's do that next.
Which is only a half hour. So maybe we got to do that one. And
that's 3 days in commentary time.
and because maybe
how long is the Hovind?
About an hour.
Hovind's an hour and 8 minutes. So,
that's more Paul territory too.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Maybe we should, in case Paul gets home.
If Paul turns up in the chat, we'll do that one.
All right. So then we have. Yes, RJ.
Edgar's discussion with Kent Hovind. I finally watched that. And it was really fun. Kent Hovind understands, one, that Edgar explicitly said that he is a young Earth creationist and believes in the flood, which he has avoided saying like the plague around everybody else. So that was actually an unintentionally informative video.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, that being the case,
it was a fantastic meeting of the minds. Let's put it that way.
The two of them, they aren't even up to half-wit level.
All right, we've got. All right, talk amongst yourselves while I get this one up and ready. You guys suck at talk amongst yourselves.
So we're going for the aneurysm. We're going to just go straight for the aneurysm. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, something
absolutely.
Of that sort.
And then one thing I can say about Kent Hovind,
Sharon's visuals are so impressive.
At least Kent Hovind is brave enough to have his comments on his videos. Like a lot of AIG, they don't have it enabled, so you can't say shit.
Block all of that.
Yeah, if you say anything though on Kent Hovind's channel, you get fucking attacked. But I expected this.
Well, he does that to protect George Pertum, you see, because vagina.
I think she has to have some cognitive dissonance, man, because she's an intelligent woman. It's got to bother her. She's got to have doubts.
Just a Tortugan. You can't believe the things she does unless you have giant Tortugan ruts in your head, in which case all of your intellect just goes sliding down. It's kind of like those stretch marks.
I see.
I can't believe he doesn't have stretch marks on the earth.
This is the woman that said that she had a 4-year-old daughter and that she was a guilty sinner. Okay?
Yeah, that is touche, sir. Touche.
That's a little disturbing. All right. So, that being the case, is everyone ready for our good friend Geraniurism?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, we're going to leave the Russell brand of plate tectonics behind.
All right.
Yeah, let me just smack my head a few times with this 2x4.
Good to get it
Get
out
the
of
right mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
There we go. I'm ready.
Here's our friend.
I can do this.
Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2,
forgot. Volume.
Houston, we have a problem.
Good production.
Yes, Houston, we do have a problem.
Yes.
It's called dissonance.
on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Is a mirage. What's going on, everyone? It's Jeranism, back with another video for you today. I wanted to point out a few things about NASA, or Roscosmos, or ESA, or JAXA. Doesn't really matter who. They're all faking us in the same ways.
Yeah, everyone.
So on the screen now we have a NASA training session. This is usually done in the Neutral Buoyancy Lab, and this is when they practice in the pool with scuba divers nearby. So I want to point out first that there's these cameras and lights that we can see them often holding. In a minute I'll show you this in what they call an actual spacewalk, but we'll see that it's really just taking place probably in a pool. Usually you have a few...
Okay.
I want you to make a note of the things you see here.
Indeed.
Okay? Look at the things around the divers and the astronauts. Now, wait for a couple minutes, and we'll. If I got this right, we will see. He's going to show us now pictures of people operating in space.
Indeed.
And please note the one piece of information that he missed.
Here we go.
Okay.
Scuba divers tending to the astronauts, and then a few are holding these cameras or lights. You can see that some are different colors, some are gray, some are beige, some are black. Now, it is my belief that this is an actual real practice for when they do spacewalks, because I don't think that they're actually in space. They're either in a pool or in a studio with wires. Of course, they do both. If they only did one way of tricking you...
Okay.
There's a reason they use a water tank for doing these training sorties, and that's the best way they have to simulate a weightless environment for the fucking astronaut.
Right.
Indeed.
And the fact that the space suit weighs almost 100 pounds.
Right, and the vomit comet it doesn't last long enough for them to fucking practice anything.
Absolutely. All right, here we go.
If you ever found out, they'd be done. But by using different methods, you can never really pinpoint one way, and so that's how they continue to trick us. If you've seen the movie...
Okay, they continue to trick us. This is the person who says that Jaron is the one that says he's not actually saying anything, he's just asking questions.
Right. The ubiquitous they.
Yeah, but they are tricking us.
I'm sorry. He's also getting ready to make a statement here, or he's trying to make a statement here, which is patently false. We'll see what. Let's hear the rest of the statement here real quick.
All right.
Drink before you do. Drink.
Okay.
I just want to say I think this is false, right? Because you can clearly see there's a wire holding up that diver. I don't even think he's in water. I think he's in air.
Yeah, the bubbles are all CGI. This is actually filmed in space.
It's filmed in space.
Yeah, I reckon.
See, here's the thing. They don't actually need the wires in this environment. They don't.
I like that. They use a space environment to falsify a neutral buoyancy tank.
Yep, there you go.
Here we
all
go.
Those bubbles are CGI, man.
Absolutely.
They're not in real water.
Moving on.
Interstellar or gravity, then you know that it's very easy to take out wires and harnesses. And if you've seen the show The Big Bang, there's a few clips where they're actually on the ISS and they're actually using stools. It's really quite easy to edit out and to fool an unaware human race. Pretty pathetic, if you ask me. They fool us and even reward each other with Nobel Prizes and other such accolades because of the level of mastery in dumbing down society. When you realize that there is no live spacewalks, you should then realize that there is a chance that you've been fooled. Many can't even entertain that thought. They have been built up with ego.
Okay.
Okay. You have to realize that there are no live spacewalks before you can realize that you can be fooled. Why does this sound ass backwards to me?
Yeah.
Yes, because his ass is backwards. This could accommodate a great deal of explanation of why Jaron has the behavior that he does.
So you suspect he never actually sits down while making these videos? Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever actually seen him sit down?
No. He very.
I don't even know what he looks like.
It is entirely possible he's talking out his ass. That may very well be the case. All right, here we go.
Yep.
That they are so smart, it's not possible they could be fooled ever. People think because they can catch sight of the ISS go over their head, that it means people must be inside it. No other possibilities, I guess.
That would be kind of an indication,
yeah. You can see it at night, when you can't verify from the ISS that it can see you, and you can see the ground when the ISS passes during the day, but you can't see it from the ground, and the fact that there's no 24/7 camera feed from the ISS showing the Earth, because it does not exist and has never existed.
Drink!
Okay.
Jared, you fucking moron! If there is no light to get in, if there's no light to go into the camera, you're not gonna see anything. Freaking moron!
Jennifer, this is no 24 hours. They did the same thing with the Midnight Sun.
Well, what happened?
Videos.
See what happened. See, actually, what happens is that to save power upstairs, they turn off the cameras while the ISS is on the dark side of the planet. Why do they do that? Because they're not going to get anything.
Right, it's just black.
It's just a whole lot of black territory. And most of that time they're in the southern hemisphere anyway, and you've got water.
Indeed.
You're covering large chunks of water.
I'm telling you, it's the same as when he allegedly debunked the Midnight Sun video from where's Antarctica, or was it the North Pole? Anyway,
North Pole, I think it is.
Sub-Zero. It gave you about what 270 degrees of travel, and or
Something
more.
like that, yeah.
And during that missing section, just like now, when he's talking about the missing section, he's sure that during that missing section, that's when Barney the dinosaur comes dancing across the screen.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero
is expressing concern. Wait, the Earth doesn't exist, or the ISS doesn't exist? I am likewise confused.
Jeranism has explicitly admitted that both objects exist.
Indeed, but earlier on in this very video, the way he phrased it, it would tend to imply that he was saying the Earth doesn't exist. I'm not going back.
He also says that there's no evidence that there's anybody on board the ISS.
Yeah, so there's like wires that are holding the ISS up above the flat Earth, or is it like on like a hot air balloon, or what exactly is his explanation for this? Like he ever stops to think about it.
He doesn't have one, and we already know that.
They could have coated it with sticky stuff and shot it up there, and it stuck to the bottom of the firmament. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's that booger again. You see, it's hit up in there with that booger, and that sticks it up there. Yeah, now it's all becoming clear.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually a fake, because I recognise the backdrop from Doctor Who.
Actually got this oil derrick that was left over from an old thing about oil drilling in Texas, and so clearly this is all just fake. Yeah, I agree completely.
And as for the nobody can really be sure there's anybody up there, go find somebody with a ham license. You can talk to them. There's a ham station.
Not only that, none of the ham radio operators talk to those people, but you will also discover at weird points of the night sky, if you're actually under the damn thing, that people have actually taken photos of it, complete with docked space shuttle.
Indeed, and you could be your response to that is, well, they could be talking to just anybody, but it's wrong, because by the Doppler shift of the signal, because you have to track it. The thing's really moving, so there's a significant Doppler shift. If you don't shift with it, you lose the signal. And by that Doppler shift, you know it's moving way too fast. No, it's not a Ken Ham radio.
It's not a Ken Ham radio.
All right.
That's.
Anyway, I know that was a little. That whole thing was a little too serious.
Some religious shit. Ken Ham radio.
I know my whole monologue there was a little serious for this show, but by the Doppler shift, while even if you're just listening, you can tell that it's the source is something that's moving way too fast to be within the Earth's atmosphere. Of that, you can be sure.
Faster than 1,000 miles an hour? Is that possible?
I forget the exact numbers. But the ISS circles the Earth at approximately every about 92 minutes and 40 odd seconds. I don't remember its exact velocity, but it's up there.
Theoretically, one could calculate with that mathematics stuff, couldn't one?
Yes, one could, because one knows what his actual orbital head is supposed to be.
And if one
the size of the Earth.
If one does not wish to do the math, NASA is kind enough to tell you when it's going to be over. Actually, we have their little.
There's a tracker. There's a live tracker.
Yeah, we have their.
So they've got the big booger synchronized so that it always brings the ISIS over at just the right time. Boy, that's clever.
Indeed.
The ISS is a little booger.
Hey, there we go. Yes, it's a little teeny model. They got it from Remco.
Yeah, or something. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, really, we're starting to return to sanity. We better have some more Jaren. Here we go.
Those people who would just drop a link in the comment section to Space Videos or another channel that claims to show the ISS in live 24/7 viewing, please follow that link and check for yourself. There is no 24/7 camera. It's never existed now, nor has it existed in the 17 years that the tin can of science has been in perpetual orbit of the Earth. Yeah, it's pretty clear it's all a scam, and let me show you some evidence of that.
Okay,
First off, just remember that they always, 100% of the time, use scuba divers in practice. Well, this isn't logical at all, since the astronauts will not have any assistance in space if their tethers get caught or they have one of the cables hooked around something that if you yanked or pulled could cause a potential problem. then it would only make sense that if in the few final rounds of practice that they did it without the aid of several scuba divers per astronaut. But nope, as you can see, they are carried around and constantly assisted by the scuba team. Also, since space will be dark, why wouldn't they practice in the pool with the lights off? Well, the obvious answer.
Okay.
We're drinking? Ooh.
Drink.
Okay.
Yeah, well, of course, it's not that actually that diving in water actually does replicate zero-G. It's only some kind of approximation, as they say, to lift the weight of the suit and give some approximation. So that's why you need the divers at all times.
And so, like, it's dark in space all the time, according to Jaren?
All right.
I don't have my mitt, Si. I need my mitt now.
Okay. In transit. All is well. Relax.
Is there really a mitt big enough to accommodate Jarenism?
There is, but I would need to like sell the house.
The shipping,
okay.
The shipping cost is way too high for such a thing.
It's only ever been rumors.
All right.
There's only ever been rumors, RJ. Only ever been rumors.
RJ, if I wanted, I would need to sell the house just to make materials.
There we go.
To buy the materials to get another big enough to
they don't want you seeing that. Here we can see the cameras and lights are again circled in red, and we also see circled in white the sign often given for OK, or as many of us have come to realize, the 666 hand signal.
Oh God!
So you can see how these scuba divers act.
Yes, those Satanist divers that work for NASA.
It's just worth a fucking drink. Sorry, it's all right. We're demonetized.
We are.
It's worth a fucking drink. Just have a drink, just because he said 666. Okay.
Oh, you don't understand. There's a clutch of social justice warriors who seem to think that the OK symbol is actually for white power.
Yes. Really?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's weird. I have not heard.
Yeah.
And if you're a Satanist white power person, then you can hit both of them at once.
Yeah, no kidding.
Birds, one stone, right?
Huh.
Actually, the what's going on here? The hand signals are actually to indicate that the astronaut is not in any kind of real trouble, because if anything fails on his suit, he, she, or it is dead.
Yeah.
Within moments, because the pressure in there is pretty big. It's pretty nice in there.
And they don't really have the mobility to extricate themselves quickly enough.
Well, they can't extricate themselves from the suits anyway. Their entire existence is dependent on that suit, and if something happens, they get a tear or something else, you have a very limited time to get them back to the surface before they're dead.
Can we hypothesize that diving in a tank in scuba gear is yet another thing that Jaren has never thought to actually do in the real world?
I think that's safe to assume.
I think that would be mostly safe.
All right.
Okay.
I think also, actually, the OK symbol is Old English, and it actually comes about, the etymology comes about from masturbating.
Stephen Bauman, half of 666 is 333, the number of the semi-Christ, because space is dark.
All right. If Steve didn't already have a mitt, that would be mitt worthy.
We still want to get to we still want to get at least to part of the Kent Hovind thing, so we probably should push on.
All right, here we go.
I reckon took longer than I figured he was going to.
We are 4 minutes in. Here we go.
That they are hiding at the bottom of the pool or making sure to stay out of the way of the astronauts. And so the other day, Antonio Subirats put out a video where he saw a scuba diver in space. Now, funny thing is...
Should we go look for that? No.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to see that one, he asked incredulously.
Scuba diver in space.
All right, you know what? Let's continue.
Actually, he was just playing with his action men, to be honest.
All right, you know what? I will go dig. I don't know if I have enough.
Are we sure it wasn't Captain Nemo?
You know what? Let's not go looking for Antonio Subrat's thing.
Okay,
tonight.
Rex. Just to answer your question correctly, it would be the cut gesture across the throat.
All right, and
is the not okay gesture, or just generally flailing about? That tends to work too.
Indeed. Here we go. Moving on.
I told my wife a while back.
Has 444 as the sign of the Krampus Christ. Just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
And we realized that these astronauts are being assisted by scuba divers, even in so-called space. I told her that if we ever saw a scuba diver, that it would likely be in a helmet reflection. And so let's take
Drink.
a look at what.
Okay.
Yeah, by so-called space, he means water, of course.
Right. I was like, that don't look like space to me.
I mean, fuck.
The other thing about the helmet about the helmet reflection, citations fucking needed.
I would tend to think so.
Because-
You know
I
what?
do hope we get. I
There may
really
be one
hope we're
coming.
going to see someone actually do a bit of a spacewalk rather than just keep watching them in this tank.
Oh, he will. He will. I'm sure he will. Here we go.
Antonio found.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
And here's one of them
reflection of the helmet.
videoing this
Drink,
asteroid.
drink.
Okay.
All right, I am completely fucking convinced now. I am absolutely convinced. If you look up to the left,
Yeah.
you'll notice a goldfish.
But what he's talking about right now is the reflection in the guy's in
right.
this astronaut's visor.
Well, let's see where it
What
goes.
he's seeing, what he's got. The problem he's got right now is pareidolia, because all of this crap is reflected in here, and there's enough different colors to make it if you look at it correctly. Because if you look, see this thing here marked 6.8, that's that blue spot in his visor. And then you have this orange thing here, which would kind of look like a face in his visor. Those things he can see perfectly fine, but that glass and the filters on it are not designed or intended to provide an accurate reflection.
So how do you explain the goldfish?
That is yet to be explained. I don't think we
Actually,
have...
that goldfish there in the upper left-hand corner is actually something they added on the before they release it. It's a trademark.
It's that hidden in plain sight thing that Darren knows.
Yeah, it's this floating logo.
All right.
It looks like a goldfish.
NASA's space emoji.
Indeed.
Yeah, but that's not NASA. It's a Russian cosmonaut.
Yep.
Well, they have goldfish.
Yeah, that guy is actually Russian, and that's for Roscosmos.
Yeah, but you see
he's moving
his
pretty damn fast.
flag,
He's really
on
Russian.
his, shoulder.
So what? We're saying they don't have goldfish in Russia? Of course they do. All right, here we go.
Well, that's still not the goldfish.
Moving on.
You can see him in the reflection there. Can you
What?
see him?
That
There
is
he
a
is.
that is a
Oh,
dark
there's the
object
back.
in
Can you
his
see
field
it
of
now?
view.
Oh, if only the reflection was.
In fact, above there. That is the
There you
Earth.
go. Now
and
can
he's-
you see him? Can you
It's
see the
looking at a
shadow
piece of
trooper?
equipment. Ah!
Really? It's a scuba diver.
And so a
No,
great
that's
find
a
by
fucking
Antonio.
camera. Ah! It's a camera. It's connected to the outside of the fucking ISS. It's been put out there so they can watch him do his shit
Now, I
and
will
make sure that
say,
he hasn't gone boom.
I will say that
And you-
during the one section, if we're looking for a human, one
It did
could
look
make
like one, yes.
one could make that from the image. But I will also say that as evidence, this would be not sufficient. This would be-
This is not sufficient.
Well, to be honest, it looks like a salmon to me.
Okay, I'll do you
There's
one,
a salmon in his
one
face.
better. I'll do you one better. I've seen my own helmet cams. Okay, that is, I know exactly what I was looking at the time, and somebody said, "Wow, that kind of looks like a dude." But I know what I was looking at, and there were no humans out there. Trust me.
All right, you know, Squirrel, you got to be careful. Someone's going to press you to tell us how you know that one of these days, and then you'll have to kill them. Okay.
Yeah.
Tim Cooney says the massive international conspiracies forgot about mirrors, apparently.
Yes. On top, the best part of that, actually, I will tell you this much, it was part of theoretically part of a DoD payload.
May have been. You may have been. Don't get us in trouble here.
Yeah.
All right. On that note,
USSC helmet cam.
here we go.
Is usually this would be edited out, but clearly you can see that when we watch here, we can see the camera or light being held by the scuba diver, and you can even see his legs down to his flippers, which are slightly hidden. But if you look a little bit to the right, you'll see what looks like another set of flippers.
They're
flapping away.
actually headed
yeah,
for
great.
Greenland.
Find by Antonio because of
They're
course
over
they edited this
Greenland.
out, and it would be a rare find to find such a mistake. But since during spacewalks they don't usually show the Earth, it's never live. They have from 10 seconds to even more than a day to edit out anything that might give away the trick.
We lost the chair over here, Si.
What'd you say?
We
We
lost
don't
the
have
chair.
video now.
Lost video. That's Hold on.
Hang on now.
We lost video. I don't know if they did or not.
No,
I did.
We're still streaming. Let me.
I don't see video though.
Oh, good. Oh, good. An error has occurred when screen sharing. Lovely. So you guys.
Part of the NASA conspiracy to prevent us from seeing the scuba guy.
You got it. Okay.
There you go.
What a
We got too
coincidence.
close.
All right.
We got too close.
I took my dosage of paranoia pills this morning. I'm ready.
You got your tinfoil hat on?
First, I'm going to try a refresh, and we'll see if that fixes things. If not, I'm going to have to exit, kill it, and come back in. But here we go.
Yeah, try a refresh.
I'll try a refresh first.
I notice how Jaren allows us to see really long amounts of time so that we can see closely.
Mm-hmm.
Not. There we go. There we go. We got it back now.
Very good. All
yeah,
right,
that's actually a piece of gear.
That's a wiener. I'm sure it's a.
Well, actually, what that you know, I think I do know what that is, or that might be. He's only seeing part of the object in question. That black void there is actually space, and he's looking at the white section there. It actually appears to be a piece of debris.
Aha.
That's plausible.
Indeed. Like I said,
he does also seem to have missed the fact that the scuba diver is swimming in front of a planet.
Yes.
You know, a small planet in a swimming pool, of course.
Okay.
Yes, it could actually be another astronaut filming.
It's a pool planet.
Indeed.
Those cameras can be deployed. There are certain places the cameras can be deployed, but usually you wind up with two people on a spacewalk regardless. One person that is, and that's because of the bog standard buddy system. If this guy's suit breaks, then the guy that's with him, he's got a patch kit.
If the cameraman were the one who is reflected in the guy's visor, wouldn't we have been seeing his bubbles bubbling up through the scene all earlier?
We should be seeing the guy bubbling
interesting.
Up. And that's
interesting
the thing
you mentioned that.
Was referring to earlier.
Interesting you mentioned that, RJ, because of course they actually did the double bluff and went into space to film this one.
Yeah, there we go.
Trying to trick us.
That's so much simpler. They only had to make sure that they had the ladder tall enough to get up to the ISS up on the booger.
So it is.
Sewer tapes. Jared is
a difficult climb. A difficult climb, especially if you're wearing flippers.
Okay. Sewer tapes. Jaranism has proved himself quite adept at being able to make videos with a toilet. That's all I can say.
That is a plausible explanation.
Probably not.
His videos are full of shit.
Yeah, that is true.
I am impressed at the quality of the shit, though.
Yeah, he puts a lot of effort into it.
Well, I've never criticized the production.
There's probably enough methane generated from it. It could be regarded as a natural resource.
Ooh.
He's still got
I know. Jared has become very, very adept at making videos with a toilet.
Certainly, it gives you some explanation of the high winds.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
So here they missed. You can see that he is holding the light or camera, filming this astronaut in a dark tank or pool of heavily salinated water, which increases buoyancy, and it's obviously filtered, which increases the clarity.
Oh, nope,
yes.
nope.
So much like something.
Oh, look at that. Now, you see what we got here? You see this little white, see that little white dot?
Okay.
Yeah, that's HAL 9000 when he was off of the drugs.
Yep, that is actually that's actually the lens of the camera that is being held by the other astronaut. I now know what that is.
Okay.
I've seen those.
It's the scuba diving teddy bear with his arm extended outwards attached to the wall.
That is in fact another astronaut doing the filming.
Okay.
Yep, there it goes.
All right.
We got it.
Nice. Moving on.
You can actually see the fingers on the gloves gripping set up on the hand grip there.
All right, so it is
Chupacabra in space, Stephen Bauman suggests.
Here we go.
Is your precious space agency. Here's the control room.
Okay, this is actually
never
Mr.
need
Control.
to be so robust if this were only for practice. These people are
Which is
practicing
unnecessary
live
because
edits.
space is
And for
fake.
example, this image here shows something quite telling.
Well, they
You've
had to
ever
discount it at Best Buy. They had to pick up a lot of video monitors.
Right.
What's his problem? What's his problem with the?
They're watching Fox News on them, it looks like.
All right,
MMA +2 points for Star Trek reference.
Oh, nice, nice.
Is Si, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello.
I think it's muted at the moment.
I can't be
So
muted.
Might be.
Yeah, we've got no audio from the video side.
What? God damn it.
Yes, although that could be regarded as a blessing.
All right.
Yes.
This is Hangouts is just acting. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Now we stopped at the point where no doubt he's about to make a fuss about the what's the screensaver. He's going to make a fuss about the screensaver here, right? So here we go.
Chroma key or green screen.
Hey, the red
or
goldfish is
even
visible up in the right
transparent
corner.
images. Then you know what we're looking at and what use it serves.
The Wright brothers airplane?
Now take a look at this guy.
Uh-huh.
Looks like he is working in a DoD or NATO bunker, where clearly you can see the launch and rocket views that we all see from home that many people swear by must be true,
Okay.
because they see a rocket launch and it goes off into the sky, and then next thing you know they get an image on the screen that couldn't possibly be anyone fooling you. No, it must be the real footage. Well, just by looking at this we can clearly see that this is being done in a studio. And as I always say, don't trust me.
Yeah,
Do
and,
your own
they're
research.
they're so dumb that they will show picture of their fakery.
Of course.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, I don't wanna
it's
call
clear
Drake
too. They
here.
must have faked the Wright brothers flight. I think we've got a really big thing going on our paranoids.
Okay.
Squirrel,
So
what do you
here's
got?
the deal. They can't beam this. They can't beam the footage directly to your house, you idiotic fuck. Okay. First off, they have to have control. They have to have the individual cameras. Those are actually the install cameras. Okay, they're on little armatures. Okay. So he has actually control of the cameras and where they're pointed. He also is responsible for passing the data stream down to the press box so that they can get that shit out to the public.
Hmm.
Holy shit.
Indeed.
With repeated hit
Yeah, and
grenades.
also,
Note that that guy is Russian.
yeah, it also happens that in his spare time at weekends he designs sets for Doctor Who.
Yeah, is that screen on the left there with the blue squiggly thing where the Enterprise went into V'ger?
That in fact is actually a screensaver.
Okay.
It's actually, if you have a Mac and Slap, you could even find it on there.
NASA is faking all of our screensavers too.
They have their hands in everything. There we go.
However, if you ever find any actual proof of space travel, spacewalks, or any of the NASA propaganda, please share it with us who can't find a lick. I mean, clearly, these things are in a warehouse.
Like they haven't done that already.
All right, just drink. Does it need to be restated? We've said it in just about every other show with this guy. Everything NASA does is publicly available. That's not classified as military operations or something of that sort. All the
Hell,
information.
this is Roscosmos, and they release this shit anyway.
Another
Ooh,
big clue.
Crypto says Jism is the retardus.
Oh! Oh, Crypto! That's actually cold. I like it. I like it a lot.
That is great. Okay, here we go.
It was located right on the wall at the NASA training facility, the NBL, or Neutral Buoyancy Lab. You'll see a mural of Vitruvian Man, but he's actually a half astronaut, or he's morphing into an astronaut. You'll see the scuba diver coming over to assist with a tool, but
Drink.
extremely talented.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's right here because, as far as I recall, astronauts weren't about when Leonardo da Vinci painted that.
No, they weren't.
Can you be sure of that?
Okay,
right.
enough sarcasm there for a minute, RJ. No, they did. They actually commissioned that on purpose because reasons.
Okay. I can.
Because they actually thought that would really look cool as a mural. That's why it's there, and it has been there for a long fucking time.
I wonder if just on an odd chance it's anywhere close to where the neutral buoyancy tank is.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is.
Do you think that might be a reason why they would appreciate such a mural?
Yes.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
You guys-
boy,
you guys-
really put me through a think fest here, having to do reason when we're trying to watch a Jaren video filled with
Okay.
absolute crap.
Crypto?
you guys-
Crypto, you are incorrect. According to Jaren and much of his shitheads, and many of the similar shitheads, NASA has been around since before Aristarchus.
I thought
You guys trying to tell me that Leonardo da Vinci didn't paint those scuba divers in the astronaut? I mean, they're wicked. I mean, they're some of the best work I've seen.
Do you know how difficult it was to find a model that had 4 arms and 4 legs? It really was a tough job.
They had to go to India.
They were very talented back then.
Yeah. Would you accept that maybe Leonardo had help?
Possibly.
Maybe he didn't do it all by himself.
From the space alien penguins.
the damn Jews with
Yes. All right, here we go.
Is if you look up in the upper left, you'll see a rocket breaking through a dome or other enclosure. Interesting indeed. Of course, all the
Oh,
evidence
that's
you need
base
is
sperm. A
found.
trilobite is trying
For
to
example,
come in.
you don't need this big curved screen and big ball.
Sam, okay, just a moment, please. Sam Dummett, the NASA predated the Bavarian Illuminati, and therefore NASA must have created it.
Okay, then.
In those days, they used candles, and then later on, they used gas, and then finally, they electrified the Illuminati.
With a track going around it, unless you are faking the moon landings. You don't need this guy painting
The giant golf tee.
We need to hear that.
Oh, he's going to get into this. Carry on.
All right.
This is going to be
detail
funny.
of the moon, unless you're faking the moon landings. They will see images from the cupola and not realize that what is being seen is a trick. Of course, you can't see a ball like this from where the ISS claims to be, only 250 miles above the Earth. Here you can see that the Earth
You
is
have a
bent,
damn
as
fish
is-
island,
All right.
you can, you nincompoop.
We had a call for drink there. Go ahead.
First off, the ISS isn't 250 miles up. It's not nearly that. Second, why create a model of the moon if you're not going to fake a moon landing? That's because the screenshot you showed was of Stanley fucking Kubrick standing in front or sitting up on the thing with the cameras. So for 2001: A Space Odyssey, which predates the moon landings, you stupid shit.
Also, you can clearly see a crab in the background there.
That's the sun. Can already tell you what that is.
No, on what they're calling the Earth, you can see a
that's
crab there.
Actually, believe it
Yeah.
or not, you can't see the curvature. You can't actually see the curvature like that. At the same time, yeah, and from at a height of 400 miles, you can actually see the entire disk if you try hard. You don't even need a fisheye lens for it. Although, to be perfectly honest, the human eye is a fisheye lens. So, moving on.
Indeed. I guess it would have to be, wouldn't it? Evolutionarily speaking.
Because evolution, it is a thing.
Because evolution. Here we go.
Bold claims.
I don't
As are
need
the
to-
solar panels.
All I gotta do is have a conversation with Mr. Darwin. He knew that.
Oh, back to the ISS orbit for a second. I thought it averaged about 250, 252, something like
No,
that.
it's a little higher than that. Or no, it's actually a little lower than that.
I
Sorry,
got-
it's a little lower than that. Shuttle's operational ceiling is supposed to be greater Earth orbit out to lunar orbit, and never went beyond about 450.
Okay, here we go.
Both at the right and left, top and middle. It's all a trick. We can easily turn any image into a ball, as done here.
Okay, drink. Yes.
That's
you
not a
can.
ball.
You can.
It's a freaking tube.
But his assertion is correct that we can, but that doesn't mean that it's done in every circumstance. Every time you see a sphere, it doesn't mean that it's being done.
And here. This type of trickery or augmented photography is not even high-tech at this point in time.
Or just
With the
photography.
needed tools to do so existing on people's iPhones. Here we see a deception of the view of someone living on a ball. At 250 miles, your view would be so small, and to see a ball with black around the edges would be simply impossible. You would need to be at least an Earth diameter away.
Have a fisheye
Possibly more.
lens.
Here we can see the red dot at almost 12,000 miles away.
Yeah, he's field of view. I mean, there's a lot of variables here, not just.
And at that distance, one might be able to see what they pretend to see from 250 miles up. So it's all tricks. Many people see a picture of the shuttle like this and argue that it could not possibly be fake. Look how real it is. It's not possible. Well, the image you are looking at now is in fact very fake. It is a miniature built by a company helping those fake the world for 40 plus years. They are called Wonder.
Okay.
Okay, first off, yes, that is a CGI image, because the design for the shuttle is not absolutely correct. Okay, number two, Mr. Jaron, just because somebody can make a model of a thing doesn't mean that that every instance of it being seen is a model of a thing.
Yeah, they use models in World War II films, so World War II is fake.
Okay. WonderWorks actually a lot of what WonderWorks does is make assets for video games and little scale models of some shit. For example, over there on the right in the middle there, that is actually a Gemini a model of a Gemini capsule and a launcher that was made for a freaking museum.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's trying to
remind
judge.
me.
Go ahead.
Okay, carry on.
Cherry picking at warp speed.
Yes, he's trying to judge everything by the exception instead of looking at the everything instead.
Oh, Jaron has moved past that. He's into ludicrous speed now.
No. He's actually gone beyond the mystical forest category. I'm telling you now. He's completely lost the thread.
All right, here we go.
There is no plot for all of Jaron's plot holes.
Yeah, literally warp 9. Warped 9.
Yeah, channel name on your model of the USS Missouri. You know, the model that I walked on at Bremerton was really big.
Okay.
I will have to go, guys.
Except that actually was the Missouri.
Okay.
Hey, that's a neat possibility. I'll have to look into that.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, good night. I have to go. I have some shit to do in a couple of hours. So
have fun, Tal.
Got you,
Tal. The rest of the Jaronism.
You can think about Jaron shit when you do your new shit.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us, Tao. And we'll be sure to do your shameless plug.
Au revoir, Tao.
Good night, or morning, or whatever it is where you are. All right.
Whatever he is on the flat Earth.
Yeah, the flat Earth. All right, here we go. No, we've made it a whole 10 minutes in. Ooh, lucky us.
Wow.
Here we go.
Ooh. The top of their site says Gateway to the Stars of stage, screen, NASA, and private aerospace for 40 plus years.
Marketing material, therefore flat Earth. Got it. Makes sense to me.
Yep, absolutely.
WonderWorks is a full-service design and production company servicing the film, theme park, and museum industries, where the client list includes NASA, Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, SpaceX, Dragon, X Prize, Space Camp, Challenger Center, Spielberg, Lucas.
Okay. Here.
Yeah, what they're not showing you there is that they do excellent goldfish models.
We saw one of those earlier. All right, Squirrel.
It's a conspiracy, I tell you. It's a conspiracy.
None of this compares to all of that stuff they do in those cathedrals and things that they do, where they have pictures like of God in that. So maybe that's all CGI too.
Maybe. Squirrel.
All right, gentlemen. Floor. Couple of things here. Number one, WonderWorks actually has the capacity to actually manufacture large objects like that booster in the Gemini capsule there. They can actually go through and fabricate all of these things if they need to. And just because they also do shit for screen and whatnot doesn't mean in a million years that's the only thing they do.
And they may very well.
Jemshin.
Yes, go ahead, RD. What do you got?
Jemshin asks Jaron, could we take a screenshot and zoom in maybe instead of filming your screen in wonderful eye bleed resolution so it's impossible to read the text?
We've had,
okay.
Actually,
I wasn't quite done here.
Okay, Squirrel.
Now, part of what they need, part of what NASA needs models for is the neutral buoyancy tank, because they train by mission. They train by the mission, so that you have to. So when they need something new, they call WonderWorks and say, "Hey guys, I need this. I need these objects. I'm going to need these objects to train some astronauts in 6 months. Can you get it?" And they can say, "Right on, boss. We'll be right on that."
Indeed.
And and there are some other places that do the same damn things. If you need a model of something really huge, you call these guys. They also do CG effects if they want to, but you have to pay them much more for that. They much prefer to work in metals.
I gather Jaren does not understand the need or the importance of modeling something either before you do it or while you're doing it in case something goes wrong.
Okay, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why all of the modules are essentially all the modules in the ISS and most everything else like that are essentially gripping tubes?
I always thought because they fit in the shuttle nice.
Well, no. Well, yes and no. Because no, in the case that you could actually build a fairing to go around it if you wanted to, you just have to build your module a little smaller. No. There's another reason for this.
Okay.
Because if you're going to pressurize an object, the best way to do it is with as few corners as possible on the outside. So if you take a round object and you pressurize it, the air goes in all directions at the same time. So you fill up this tube, and it remains rigid and reasonably stable. If you put it in a box, in a place that has no atmosphere, you have seams. You have at least 4 seams running all the way down, and that could turn into an issue.
Yes, and you have a device that wishes to be a sphere.
Yes, you have an object that wishes to be a sphere/tube, and you don't want it to, and you kind of want to let it do that as much as possible.
Indeed. Alrighty. Here we go. Oh, I'm getting an echo of me. Jesus, that's what I sound like. Ah, crap. All right, here we go.
Disney, Universal, GM, Ford, Chrysler, Rockwell, and the Smithsonian Museum. With a project list that spans the globe, WonderWorks provides clients with an extensive history of knowledge, creativity, cutting-edge technology, and a commitment to detail in all of our replicas and spacesuits. We are not a hobby store or a toy store. We do not sell Halloween costumes. There are many excellent sources for those products, but we specialize in realism. So, as we take a look at their webpage, you can see many facets of their operation. You can also see many images that many people would put their reputation on. This is definitely a floating astronaut taking a picture of the Earth from space out a window, when in actuality, it's just a set. Just like this, another set of the ISS. So for those who think it's not possible...
What's your point?
I
failed to see your point.
He hasn't come to one yet, and wouldn't you think if that was what was
and he
going
never
on,
will.
they'd keep these things a secret?
I think the only point we've got right now is the one that was shoved up backwards.
Could be, and if I would think NASA, if they were doing that, would want to keep these things a little bit of a secret. And here's how unsecret they're keeping it. During one of the NASA socials, they had some of their guests traipsing through these things so they could go back to their little hometowns.
They're so clever that they have hired all of these companies to do their fakery, and then they go around saying that they do fakery, and yet no one can ever prove that they do the fakery that Jaren thinks it is.
Indeed, and they choose to hide it by inviting ordinary citizens who are big in social media to come and video and record and take pictures and all that stuff. That's how much of a secret it is. Okay.
Well, you have to understand, RJ, you're giving Jared way too much credit here. You assume that he thinks. I don't think he's capable.
Oh, that's true. Have you been following the side conversation about the desire to have Jaren have a vasectomy based on a GoFundMe? Some have suggested that they needed to. Can they use a rusty knife? I'd like to know whether or not we can manage to have it so that the vasectomy is performed up in the ISS.
I would love that. I would love to see that. I would also love to see the judge we're going to pay to make that a court order. To make it court order that he get one.
As far as I know, he's already procreated. Is that not accurate?
I believe he has.
Pissed in the old gene pool, has he? Oh, too bad.
Let us just hope
Yeah.
that all of this stuff that he's doing is he's just really an elaborate Poe in it for the cash. Let's just hope that.
Well,
Well,
remember,
I'm not sure
trichognomosity
what
is not
works.
necessarily genetic.
No.
Well, but it can be passed. But it can be passed through nurture, sir.
Yes,
And
that is.
we both know that.
That is scary.
We all know that. In fact, Brian, I don't think we would actually need a scanning electron microscope just to see kind of where we might want to be.
All right. Well, here we go.
That we could ever be tricked, they should realize that it's in fact very possible and at least deserves to be looked into. And when you realize that there is no proof of everything that NASA's been telling us for 60 years, then maybe we can, as a human race, end the deception. Let's continue
What
on
deception?
looking. We can see different methods of portraying astronauts. Over here on the left side, we see an image that shows a interesting way of showing an astronaut in space with a black backdrop and the camera looking from above. You'll see here he's fixing a satellite with a camera on a track, and these are just some of the clues that tell us how easy it is to fake us.
It's a 3D model, you stupid.
Yeah,
You retarded.
almost as if we are modeling something that is slated to happen. Almost.
Yeah, where they're trying to actually match it up so that it looks realistic because they know that there's a reality that they need to look realistic in.
Indeed.
So clearly we have established that Titanic never existed because all the movies that have been made of them did not actually use a real ship, and they used models. So that clearly disproves all of that Titanic and the ocean liners and everything.
On top of that, this gets better because I know why those models exist and why those scenes exist. And that is they use the 3D models for prototyping before they waste a bunch of money, before the company wastes a bunch of everybody's money, literally, to build a thing that will be wrong.
Sounds like adequate justification to me. Or
Well,
it could
that's-
be to trick the whole planet. Let's see, which one is more reasonable? All right, I'm hitting play.
This astronaut here certainly looks to be suspended in space. He's floating, but in actuality he's got some sort of harness which can be easily edited out.
Drink!
Okay.
Jared, you retarded fuck. God damn it. Have you never heard of the Uncanny Valley? That is not actually a person. That is somebody that has actually been that is somebody that's actually been fucking modeled and animated. Idiot! I can tell that from here. And I'm seeing a picture of a picture that you put on your video.
And
that is not an actual human being.
Even if it were.
And even if it were, that blue stripe you're talking about, that's the quote unquote harness, that's the zipper so he can piss.
No, he's saying the harness has been edited out. So you see, the logic Jaren is using is that since you don't see the harness, it's obviously been edited out. There's your proof.
Honestly, if you actually need to stay put, you use the belt clippy. Seriously.
I would think so, but
they do. They have the belts. There's a belt that you have a little. You have a short length of cable and a carabiner. You click it on there, and you put your feet in the little in the little. It comes over the top there.
Indeed.
Over the top.
Mr. Unite for the Children says he looks like one of the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are go, Paranorm says.
Yes, he does actually look like one of the Thunderbirds. Okay, never mind this guy's wearing a Russian flag. We're not going to get into that, but this is not an actual person.
I'm not sure.
No, it's not. I can tell you that now.
Okay.
You look at his face, he's way too even.
Okay. But okay, well, all right. Let's just how about this then, Squirrel? Let's pretend this were an actual person.
Then I can explain all of that shit.
Right. We're just pretending for a second. Let's say, or we'll come across a picture of an actual astronaut.
Well, okay. Let's give Jared the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
For a moment.
We're gonna pretend. Here's my question to you, sir. That might prove Jaren's right. Now, if he was wearing a harness and it had later been edited out by means of computer graphics, we would not see. We would not see it. Now I ask you: do you see a harness in this picture? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Then obviously
But-
it's been edited out. Jaren's point is made.
Aha, no, it's not, because all of the detail on the suit does not show any evidence of it being CG'd,
Actually,
of it being brushed out.
We don't need to go that far. It was a ridiculous non sequitur I just put forth. Anyway, but you're correct. You're correct.
They also carefully edited out the unicorn
Yes,
and
they did.
the 15 leprechauns that were playing Highlight in the background. They have edited out an amazing amount of stuff.
You forgot the orbital. You forgot the orbital teapot.
Oh yes, there's that. Speaking of unicorns,
And the goldfish.
somebody sent me a picture of a rhino and said it was a unicorn that let itself go. All right, there we go. Here we
Anyway.
go.
Bring it.
Continue on, we'll take a look at a couple more of these images just to show you really how easy it is. Here we've got some people floating about. Again, does this mean that it's real? Of course not. This is all done by the magic of movies.
Okay, so this means that an agency that is contracted to do simulations has been caught doing a simulation.
Doing simulations.
Okay, damn it.
Yeah, those
In
bastards.
this one way, in this
Damn it,
one
do
way,
their
that is completely correct. Those people, that is a simulation.
So, what
Good
business,
job, Jaren.
What business does a company hired to do simulations have doing simulations?
I know.
It's
I
so
don't know.
Fucking weird.
Here we go.
So let's continue on with what else they've got. They've got some spacesuit rental, space shuttle rental. Let's look. Here's the interior of the space shuttle. You can
That
see these
is-
are just replicas. We've got another interior shot
I'm
here.
saying
Again,
nothing.
if you show this to somebody, they're going to claim it's real.
We're just wasting time
We've got a interesting.
That's going to be quite a bit of this
We
crap.
jump ahead 10 minutes.
It's going to keep showing us.
How long is
simulations.
this sucker?
We are about halfway through, so we're not doing too bad. Look, maybe he'll come up with some kind of assertions that will actually.
Okay.
We can
Oh, my heavens, you are a trusting soul.
Well, he'll come up
Okay.
with assertions.
First off,
Yes.
can I say a thing here?
Say a
Okay.
thing.
He says that was the interior of the space shuttle. I ask you, which space shuttle is he talking about? Because all the interiors for all 7 birds were somewhat different.
Well, this was the one with the flat linoleum floor that so fits in very beautifully with a real spaceship.
Oh, so we're talking about Columbia. Right, got it. Okay.
All right.
Interesting image here of the control panel. Again, it's got lights. Must be real, right? Nope. I beg to differ.
Stand by.
We've got the shuttle being.
What? Something?
Stand by, please. Give me that picture back.
Give you that picture back. All right. There you go.
Okay, this interior is in fact Discovery after her refit. They upgraded the computers and they upgraded the computers and monitors so that they didn't have to rely quite so much on the dials that they were using originally. This is actually after her refit.
Okay.
That just a little side note there. But yeah, that's
And you know, I have seen special effects where they have replicated airplanes. That means that aviation stuff is a lie, and everybody that claims to have flown in an airplane is part of the conspiracy.
Oh no, airplanes too? Ah, crap. Is there nothing I can believe in anymore? All right, here we go.
We've got the shuttle being built inside the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Says it takes like 24 hours to build the entire replica shuttle. We've got these people.
Where are the
who
cows?
Obviously people that love to fake you. Hello, we'll fake you. Sure, hire us. And as I showed before, here's the image of the space shuttle that many people would swear is real, when actually it is just a miniaturized version put together.
Okay, you saying?
Frank asked and answered.
Okay.
We already know what that. We already know what that is, and we know why that is. That's actually a simulation of Atlantis, and the proportions aren't quite right on the wings. Moving on.
And he just said it's a miniaturization, indicating that there's a real object.
Yeah, well, he's wrong. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually a CG. And even if it were not, that structure over there next to it, nowhere near anything. That looks like the actual launch pad. It actually looks like 39A there. Except that all of this construction in the back, nothing to do with it.
Looks damn impressive in the picture, though, doesn't it?
It does look damn impressive in the picture. That's probably the factory where that's probably where they actually constructed the object. And if I'm not mistaken, that object is most likely in a museum someplace right now. Probably one of the Airplane museums.
Says Jaren's search for truth has a lot in common with improv comedy. I would add, except it isn't funny.
Okay. Here we go.
No, but the guys watching it are hilarious. Did I not say that? Oh, wow.
There's another image. Down there you can see it says that it's all faked. Mini image here, and how easy it would be for NASA to film these things, show it to you on a TV screen, and you would think it's real. If you remember the show Space Cadets, which was a UK show about faking people that they were in space, that was also done by this same company. Of course, we've got more. We've got an astronaut floating in the cargo bay of the shuttle.
They did faking space on a TV show.
Yes, therefore.
Okay.
Therefore,
what's wrong with this picture? Wait, nothing.
Okay. So here we've got a
good God, Jaren could turn popping microwave popcorn into a 3-hour epic. Does this guy ever get to his damn point?
Been used in many movies. Here
never.
We've got from Apollo 13, the splashdown scene, filmed by them with a backdrop and a green screen, and of course, fake.
Yes, we already know.
Here we've got a shuttle in the desert. Here
beating dead horse, call the ASPCA.
At launch. Because those really need to be built, except for when you're taking people.
Okay, squirrel.
RJ, that horse shuffled off this mortal coil a long time ago.
Yeah. Jaren's just propping up the bones and using duct tape by now.
No. That horse was dead and buried before Jaren was born. He had to get out there and dig the poor bastard up to put the duct tape on so he could beat it some more. Holy shit with a hand grenade.
All right.
Out. Here's some more pictures from the actual show Space Cadets. Again, they faked some teens or mid-teens, whatever they are, that they were going to space.
Okay.
Now he's claiming that the TV shows are faking it. Unbelievable.
Again, I say, duh.
Right.
Why would they?
NASA has reached the level where they're doing fake versions of science fiction movies.
God damn.
All right.
How expensive is that?
We've got more pictures which clearly show...
Jemson says the Jaren and Unicorn Improv Hour. 2 globe earthers walk into a bar. They didn't notice since it was edited out.
Yeah. That was funny. Okay.
You know, by the comments that scroll by, I don't even know if any of us are necessary.
We're not.
All right, here we go.
I do try to take note.
Yes, I suspect.
Yeah, we don't need to talk. We can let the chat do it for us. Damn.
You know what? One time we'll try that. Anyway, here we go.
Let's not say we did.
Morons. We've known that for thousands of years. It curves because everything we've ever been shown curves, so therefore it must be curved because you can't fake me out. Even though I can't go to space, you can't ever
dude,
me. Down there,
we don't have to fake you out. You fake yourself out.
Form because of course
he came
they're faked.
Pre-faked.
We've got some space suit construction. Here we've got Spaceship One replicas for the X Prize. So it says. So they've got these miniature versions of Spaceship One. We've got education, of course, because
whoever taught that kid how to scroll should be shot.
And teach.
Look! They built the Enterprise model. Therefore,
is he actually going to click on that?
I don't know.
Don't tell me that Star Trek: The Next Generation is fake.
No. It was actually that's the Enterprise from the movies.
Yes.
That's the early movies.
Oh, that's a relief.
Yes, that's the Where Did We Ditch Spock Enterprise, if I remember.
Right. That's the Enterprise. We got Spock killed, and then we brought him back.
Yeah, that sort of thing. All righty.
Bum 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 ta 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 ta. No. More entertaining than Jaren is.
That's
count. Next Generation.
And it doesn't count as a show tune if it's a TV show. All right. All right. And he's getting a hell of a lot of mileage out of marketing material. That's all I have to say. Here we go.
I'm all about an industry that has stolen about $5 trillion while providing absolutely nothing to humanity.
Ooh.
Velcro.
No.
Here you see this little plane.
Drink!
The X
Okay, squirrel.
Citation fucking needed. Where did you get that figure? Oh, right. The source of that figure is the speaker's ass.
I believe it is.
Ah! $5
31.
trillion.
In the foreground, it's a miniature shot at a NASA facility. Here we've got a miniature little barn with a person behind it.
You
with
just
a
spun
mini-
the
Expand so that we
no.
can see the damn. My God, yes.
He was
Oh,
not-
no, tell me that the Wienermobile wieners are fake too?
He has not even synchronized the audio with what he's doing. Did you notice when he was talking about the barn for the previous image, he was waving the mouse around the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, claiming that was the barn.
They've also faked Monument Valley down in Nevada. They faked Mars. They faked everything.
So it would seem.
They faked a man in a black and white photograph.
Oh no! Look, there are no races.
He's going too far now. That looks to be a fake IndyCar.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Does that mean that the Indy races are not?
That's not acceptable.
Okay.
Don't tell me that IndyCar's fake.
Yes.
Okay, folks, I have a link for you guys and a link for the chat.
Okay.
Nigel Mansell's moustache is
Oh
legendary.
my heavens!
There's no way that isn't real.
Farm gate fences are fake too.
That is in fact the website he's currently looking at. So if we want to go pull up a copy, if we want to pull up whatever it is he's looking at, we can do that.
Indeed. All right.
Yeah, where we might actually inadvertently learn something, which is more than poor Jaron can ever claim.
Yeah, and this is the person that says "open your mind." Shocking. Here we go.
Miniature Wienermobile, miniature helicopter, miniature car, miniature Saturn V, miniature.
Okay, that is a miniature Saturn V. You got to synchronize your audio with what you're saying.
Whoa, let me see that. Where?
Ooh, submarines now. The entire Navy's fake too. I do apologize to play at this Monument Valley being in Colorado. I am sorry.
Where is his miniature Saturn V? I don't see it. Oh, there it is up there.
Yeah.
That's not a Saturn V. That's a Redstone.
He's got to sync the audio. That's all right. Here we go.
Sure. Submarine down in the lower left. Hey, they even got
a submarine that looks like the moon.
Planet rental. In case you were looking
Venus.
to rent any planets. Pluto is currently being rented by NASA, so you won't be able to use that one.
I'm surprised he doesn't suggest that all the Navy Department, all of our
Cassini missions
submarines are actually models.
Turn that back in, so you can give them a call if you want to rent Saturn.
How much to
It
rent
is available
Pluto?
for filming and then passing off to the American public and the world
It
public.
depends on if it's inside of Neptune's
telling them
orbit
it's
or
real.
outside of
We have
Neptune's
crafts
orbit.
that
You
are
have to
going
charge a
around
surcharge if it's out that far.
Some 800 million miles
Oh,
away.
Well, considering how long it takes to get there.
If
It's
I
all-
may,
You
for a
know,
moment,
I don't want to rent it. I
And
don't
the
want
Eiffel Tower, they're all fake too. The
Squirrels
Leaning
made
Tower of
I don't want to
Pizza.
rent it by the hour.
Squirrel,
gentlemen,
what
if
do you
I may, for a moment.
got? Squirrel, what do you got?
I wish you make a retraction on an earlier statement I made because
Okay.
I wasn't able to get a good look at it from Jaren's itty bitty freaking video.
Uh-huh.
I mistook a Gemini. I mistook a Gemini capsule for and booster for a Mercury Redstone setup.
Aha.
Well, shame on you.
Absolute. I prostrate myself before the court and hope they don't kill me for it. I admit I was wrong. That is a thing, and there is and here everybody in the stream can actually have a look at that. Go ahead and display it for them if you want to. There, Cy.
You know, I'm beginning to think that everything outside of Jaren's laser pointer and his living room is all faked by this one company.
So
Yeah,
that does seem to be the
that's
case.
logical.
But all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully he will get done.
Okay, I'm afraid I have to go, guys. It's been fantastic. I'm having goldfish problems here right now.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
so I will
problem.
catch you all next week. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. Have a good night there, Chief. All right. Let us continue with this silliness.
We're all
nonsense.
living inside
Here you can see a
CGI, to
ton
borrow
of
Tim Cooney.
miniatures that have been used in various videos or movies. I even saw the trade centers up there. I see the Colosseum in the middle here.
Ooh, Abu
A myriad
Simbel.
of ways to fool
And the
people, and yet
Colosseum.
still,
Is he going to say
And Star Trek phasers are all fake.
the phaser is fake? Oh, come on now.
people want
That's actually a
believe
phaser.
it.
Oh my
Can't be
heavens! The
That's actually
little kid from the hamburger joint, he's fake too. And lakes are fake.
oh no.
right, Squirrel, you were about to say something about the phaser, I believe.
Yeah, that's actually that is actually the original series Phaser 2.
Indeed.
It has the Phaser 1 mounted on top of it, extended battery pack, and more settings. Thank you.
Fooled. They're just too smart to be fooled. How could you ever fool them on a place they've never been? Here's all the movies. You can see Gravity, Interstellar, Apollo 18, Transformers, Arthur, The Abyss.
Point, please. Anytime now.
Race Against Witch Mountain.
I'm not
Kind of where Jaren's brain has been.
Yeah, I'm not
Blown
gonna
Away.
stop it, but get to the point. Yes, they made stuff for movies. What's your point?
Marooned, Capricorn 1. You've got The Core. You've got The Rocketeer, Blown Away,
The Right
Star
Stuff.
Trek, all the different Star
Rocketeer?
Treks,
You mean to
Voyager.
tell me that the airship
others, The Core,
Luxembourg
Project
doesn't really
UFO,
exist?
No.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
heck.
Crash Dive.
Oh, wait a minute. I just saw, is he saying Pee Wee Herman? That is not a real person. Is that what he's saying? I saw Pee Wee Herman in one of those.
Oh, no, not airplane. Do you mean that 747 jets can't turn into pretzels? Oh, my, say it ain't so.
You've got Armageddon, The Martian, Apollo 11, Magnificent Desolation. That's a
using up time.
Buzz
using up
Aldrin's
time.
film about his moon landing, which you need a lot of props and a lot of replicas.
He's
to
moved past
recreate
beating dead horses to working on dead
non-existent
aardvarks.
landings of Buzz Aldrin. Whole bunch of movies that have used
Night
Wonderworks.
Memes is
where
going.
they fake you out and you believe it. So
Oh, my heavens, they
see what
faked
else
the
they've got
Emmys,
here. I think
too.
that's pretty much it. They've got planes, trains, and ships. You'll see more copies of these miniatures.
Pino asks, how does Jaren evade institutionalization for so long? That is a legitimate question.
I agree. I can only assume he remains in motion at all times. That's all I can think of.
You see the shuttle again at Long Beach on the right there. So lots of ways to fool you.
Pino
And
says
they
he must stand in supermarkets all the time and mumble, is it ketchup or ketchup?
have received some awards, the Saturn Award, and you'll see down here some St. Christopher the Great or something, some Freemason award there as well. So thank you, Wonderworks, for fooling the world. We're very proud of you and your addition to humanity. And getting back to the pool, we can see here that even when we look through the camera, you can tell that the camera is almost recording an image
Is he
that
going to show us any
eliminates
more space video?
the
or-
idea of it being in water. You can see from this camera.
No,
you can't
he's
even
out
see
of
the
it.
Bubbles
He doesn't know
that
anymore.
are happening above
Notice,
the
notice
astronaut.
I'm not even stopping it
And
at
it
this point.
disappeared.
There's no point.
Is that something to do
It's
with
not
the
like
camera?
we're gonna,
I'm
it's
not
not like
sure.
we're missing anything.
I wouldn't know, but
No, that's been true of Jaren all along.
And
By
as
the
we can
time you
clearly
get
see,
down
these
to
scuba
about a
divers
third of the
are
way
constantly
into it,
helping the
he's
astronauts
just
with every
in
possible
repeat
task.
himself mode.
Yet when they get to space,
Pretty much.
they're on their own. Their life's on the line. Oh well, deal with it. That's, I guess, the way that we handle it. Earlier I mentioned
Oh,
about
Jemison
why
has
they don't
clarified
record in
it.
pitch
Ketchup
black.
is real.
Well,
Ketchup is the one that contains the mind control drugs that prevent you from seeing unicorns.
Ah, and now we know.
because if they did, it might look something like this. And this is too much for them to show, as it clearly shows almost the identical
Yes, Fino, I remember. Ketchup. 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 Ketchup.
thing as a spacewalk. This is what we see when they're in space. So they don't want to show too much of the blacked out pool. Now you can also take a look here at somebody supposedly in space who is making bubbles, which is basically all the science that's been done in the 17 years that they've been on the ISS. Now, of course, you can take your pick of where you want to see this kind of...
Okay, Squirrel.
Did he or did he not just say in the 17 years they've been on the ISS?
Oh, yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, he did. That just slipped right by me. Huh.
Okay. Now, he made the claim in the first minute of the video that no one had ever been on the ISS in the 17 years it's been in operation.
Yes, he did.
Hello, Mr.
You're
Contradiction.
expecting
How's
total
it
consistency
feel?
from someone who hasn't seen daylight out of his ass in 10 years?
Well, that's because he's got his head wedged up there.
Something.
Yeah. I was more focused on the fact that he was saying that there's never been any science done up there, which, of course, is a bald-faced lie.
It is absolutely a bald-faced lie. But I was more intrigued. I was vaguely more intrigued by the fact that he made a statement earlier that he just contradicted. How much time are we going to left on this video, Si?
We've got.
I'd like to see Jaren recreate that bubble in his room.
Oh, we're about
He
two-thirds. We're about two-thirds through. We're making time. There we go.
the science taking place on the $150 billion ISS or on a $4,000 parabolic flight. Yes, you can do exactly what he's doing here on a parabolic flight for $4,000, and you can see clearly here that there's even cuts in this film. Clearly is not real. These guys are clearly jokers. We'll now take a look at a little video that was done.
Okay. Hey, moron. While they're doing the parabolic flight there, Mr. Jisms, you only managed to get about 20 seconds of weightlessness at a time.
Yeah.
20 or 30 seconds max.
I mentioned that a while ago.
Yeah. And
as opposed to a good couple of minutes of a good 45 seconds to a minute of footage he was just showing. Come on.
Indeed. And
that little ball of liquid and bubbles and shit that he had there would not under any circumstances still exist by the end of that clip.
Here's a GoFundMe suggestion. Yes. Jaron brought in, without his realizing it, to a room surrounded by people who have actually been up into space, the astronauts, so that they can beat him up.
I imagine that's actually what would happen. But it's odd that he chose that particular
Not a jury on earth would convict
clip. It's odd that he took that relatively short clip. There was another one of another water thing, obviously intended, just for the less science knowledgeable folks. With the which astronaut was it? He squeezed the water out into a towel and squeezed the towel out, and it was how the water made a glove over his hand and that sort of thing. And it was a long clip that there was no way in hell could have been done in the Vomit Comet. Absolutely not. But he chose this video.
Okay. Why does he have a picture of sitting in a Kazakhstan desert up on his screen?
Not entirely sure.
He doesn't know.
Squirrel?
Okay. Sai, can you do us all a huge favor?
What would that be?
Get closer to your mic. You're in the mud, man.
How's this? Hello?
Much better.
Alright. There we go.
A little closer wouldn't kill you if we were having a hard time I was having a hard time parsing that, and I know words.
I must have been, I must have bumped it a few times with the mug of truth. These things happen.
Nah, you're back in the mud now, man.
God damn it. There's weirdness. All right.
It's that vanishing point. It's affecting him again.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Here, wait, I might be able to... Here, let me jack the gain up here. Hello? Hello? Any better?
Oh, yes, watch. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, nothing has changed on this end. I've got a virtual mixer panel. I just jacked up the mic volume. All I will say is Hangouts is acting a little weird tonight. Okay, right. Now on to the Kazakhstan desert. Let's see what this camel is up to here.
Highlighted two filmmakers who went deep into the Kazakhstan desert at the Baikonur Cosmodrome. And what we see when we open these doors is the remnants of a long-lost Soviet space headquarters. And when he opens this door, you'll see what's still inside, as there are still two large shuttles that were never put into use.
Okay.
These shuttles were very close to being finished, but this is what happens when you realize that space travel is impossible, and there's no use continuing on with this nonsense.
Or it could have been they ran out of money.
So what do? Well, they condense their space program into a very simple to manage trickery, which all takes place around the Soyuz capsules. Soyuzes take you to the ISS and back, and that's all they need to fake. No use for all of this equipment, these shuttles, cranes, and everything.
You're up, Squirrel.
Right. And did you realize the space shuttle turned into a huge boondoggle for the United States? The Soviets saw how badly that was actually going for them, and said, "Well, no, we're just gonna scrap this project before we even bother using it, because if the Americans' expenses are anything to go by, we don't want to cover it." The Soyuz capsule has been very good for what it does. They can attach any number of service modules to it. Proven technology. We don't want to fucking deal with it. Let's just do that. So they save money, and they keep using a reliable piece of hardware that's been good that's been good at that point for probably about 50. That had been good at that point for about 35 years. So,
asks, is Jaron aware that the Soviet Union shot up hundreds of people in other space vehicles? No, I suspect poor Jaron is not aware of that.
Is he aware that a lot of people, that there were at least a few people that died testing those damn things? No.
Probably not. Is Jaron unaware of most of the known universe? Yeah, kinda.
Yeah,
Yes.
mostly, actually.
Speaking of that,
I don't think he's actually aware of much of anything beyond the four corners of his house.
Yeah, it's amazing how articulate it's possible for a nematode to be.
are we insulting
Now,
nematodes again?
RJ, what did I tell you about being speciesist against nematodes? Stop that. God, don't do that.
All right, that's odd. We're getting an AC hum now.
Yep, we're getting a 60 hertz.
That's my
drum.
job.
And now it's gone. Okay, here we go.
Everything else that was used, the insides, nope, just throw it away. There's no use anymore. Nobody is going to space.
What the hell are they going to do with it otherwise?
Here we can take a look at some of these images of the long forgotten Space Center with the shuttles, with all the equipment, all the interior. You'd think that stuff would still be of use, right? Well, not when
I wonder if they'd sell that.
space is fake.
I'd like it if they did.
All
Wouldn't
this
that be
equipment
nice?
at all, you would just leave it here.
I'd like it if they did, but only if they will be so kind as to provide not only the shuttles, but the boosters with it. We need the boosters.
Wait, load
Because
it?
I'm just going to see the lattice work in there. I'm going to strap a bunch of flat earthers to it without suits.
Wow,
And then I'm going to launch the whole fucking mess.
that's harsh. Okay, here we go.
No good. You've already got your Soyuz.
Not
to take the
unjustified,
world
just
with.
harsh.
Oh,
You'll be
great.
just fine. All the rest of this just sits here in the middle of the desert, growing dust and rust.
Dust
so
grows.
now we'll
Yeah,
move
just
on
growing
to
dust.
a
Yeah,
final
well,
interesting
it could be a big
subject
dust
here
mine. You could go in there and mine the
regards to
dust
the
and ship it off,
American
and
shuttles.
it could compete with the
So let's
naval
now
lint
listen to this guy describe
smuggling
the
market.
Enterprise prototype shuttle. He says it was
No,
orbital vehicle number-
RJ. Now, we don't want you must not offend the Navy smuggling market. Okay,
the naval
actually,
lint as opposed to naval oranges.
Yeah, well, we're still talking about naval lint, not naval dust, naval lint, sir. Get it straight.
All right, here we are on to the Enterprise.
Cool.
Okay, indeed. Here we go.
For 101. Then he states that the Challenger does not have an orbital flight designation because it wasn't meant to go to space.
Bullshit.
Very interesting. Let's hear.
It's sort of like a test vehicle.
Oh yes, it's the prototype. Now what?
Oh, we're on to the clicks. Okay, here we go.
You don't know Jack.
All right. You have something to say on this, or is that enough?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
First off, Challenger was not only flight rated, it was man rated, it was human rated. Yes, it was, because it went up and got blown up. Now, you were talking about Enterprise, sir, which was never flight rated. It was there as a test. It existed only as an orbiter only. It was never assigned boosters or even one external tank. Why? Because it was there to test the gliding capacity.
Indeed.
Oh, shock. You mean that Jaron is unaware of some facts?
He may be. He may very well be.
Well, at very minimum, he has actually mixed up his fucking orbiters. God damn, I hate when people do that shit. They named it They named the damn thing Enterprise after the Enterprise of fiction, as well as various enterprises of times long gone. Simply because it was never designed to go into space. It was designed to test the glide performance.
You mean they test things before they use them with actual people in them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy talk.
That's agreed. I don't see why they would test anything before sending it into space. All right. Moving on.
It was built as a spaceship, and you can actually tell that by the designation NASA gave it, OV-101. All the orbital vehicles were going to be in the 100 series, with the exception of Challenger, which is a whole other story. And Challenger doesn't have that 100 series number. It was actually Structural Test Article 099. So it wasn't meant to fly in space, and this one was meant to go in space. The reaction control system was never installed, but it is represented here. You can see these gray kind of ovals and circles. That's where these little reaction motors would be. And these are just little tiny rocket motors that can help you pivot and maneuver, and even some of the larger ones can actually help alter your orbit a little bit.
Okay, so he made an assertion about one orbiter not being designed to go into space, and as evidence, he's showing us the other orbiter that was not intended to go into space. That's his supporting argument?
Yeah, it sounds like the guy narrating it had just made a slip of the tongue, and Jaron seems to take all of this literally.
I'm thinking clever. Do you think it's that, or do you think it's clever editing that the guy was talking about Enterprise when he said it was never meant to go into space?
Well, it's hard to tell, given the fact that Jaron is an unreliable twit. Anything is possible.
I would not say Jaron is above dishonesty. That's all I'm saying. I have no evidence. I can't say
He's simultaneously above and below dishonesty, and kind of like a Schrodinger's cat thing.
Schrodinger's liar. That's what we have.
Yeah, there we go.
Here we go.
NASA does a very good job at saving money when they can, and one of the things they did is they reused all the instruments out of here, and I was able to find some of those. I actually found them in a government surplus auction. This kind of representation shows you how really kind of regular airplane it really was. This kind of representation shows you how really kind of regular airplane it really was.
Do you have something, Squirrel?
I do have something.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. The nice man is actually correct. STA 00099 was a structural test article used for stress and thermal testing, but was actually later redesignated was later made functional to become Challenger.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Again, fitting in with that saving money aspect. Okay.
Yes. With the saving money aspect, because they couldn't get the proper fittings for Enterprise, but they already had what became Challenger running around later on.
Yeah, amazing they're going through all that effort since it was all in models.
That's true.
So you can see it's not complete. We include an image behind there that shows the complete instrument panel of Enterprise. The kind of interesting thing is that a lot of those things are standard. They're not, unique to a space shuttle.
So it really is just an airplane at best. This makes sense because, as I've said...
That is not what the man said. Not even remotely what the man said.
So there's a bit of straw manning going on. Okay.
That straw man is big enough to run off Godzilla.
I see. So Nicolas Cage is standing in the head of that straw man, you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Well, Jaron already has the bad, stupid movie script down. All it needs is Nicolas Cage to complete it.
Looking confused as usual. Here we go.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie. That's all we have to have now.
Before, if we really did have 4 crafts that could take people to and from space, could dock with the space station, then why?
Yes?
There were 5 of those orbiters. We ended up with 3 of them because 2 of them were destroyed. Columbia and Challenger were both destroyed. One during re-entry and the other during launch. Thank you. There were 5 total. For my ass.
You'd think he'd have enough respect for what actually happened to get the numbers right, wouldn't you? All right, here we go.
I think he doesn't.
We're talking Jaron here.
Oh, that's right. He was another one of those Challenger disasters never have. Okay, here we go.
Would they have possibly gotten rid of it? It isn't logical. Now we pay $81 million per astronaut just to be taken to the ISS. Of course, this is just a plane, and that's absolutely easy to scrap. So let's hear, can we actually go inside and check this thing out?
A lot of visitors come and say, hey, can I see the inside?
Squirrel!
Jaron has absolutely no idea what it costs to launch some shit out of a huge-ass gravity well. He has no fucking clue what it takes to get anything up well. We're looking at
but it's all done with hot air balloons. Didn't we see some of his earlier videos? It's all perfectly clear.
Okay, first off, his earlier videos are just as shit as this one. Actually, this one's more shit because it's actually something that I know in some intimate detail.
Indeed.
Now, what I'm going to go into a little bit here about what it actually costs, because 90% of what at individual flight costs is in the fuel required to lift any amount of weight, including the weight of fuel.
Those big fuel tanky things we see attached to the rocket.
Things,
oh,
yes,
I remember those.
Making liquid hydrogen is not the easiest shit in the world. And the oxidizer is, if I remember right, is nitrogen tetroxide. Hypergolics are not easy things to play with, and they are actually quite dangerous. So not only do you have the problem of making the shit, you have the problem of transporting the shit, which requires a whole bunch of things. We don't even talk about the price of the permits alone. Okay, it's just wow. Jared. Okay, $81 million per astronaut. Did you know that there are only two? Did you know that it doesn't actually cost that much to lift an astronaut? It only costs about $10,000, about $10,000 a kilogram ish, somewhere in that neighborhood on a space shuttle. So
it's lifting all the stuff around the astronaut that's kind of expensive.
Yeah, including the payload. You moron.
You sound a little displeased with Mr. Jones.
He's actually he is actually
this is an insult to morons, Croc-a-Squirrel.
Oh yes, I keep forgetting. Okay, first off, Mr. Jared is currently treading in a space that I know intimately, and as a result, I'm going to be a little upset.
Oh, on a space that you know. I see what you did there. All right, here we go.
And we'd love to show you, but this is a national treasure. There's no place to walk in there, but we did install a plywood catwalk down the center.
Can I touch it?
No.
I'm not allowed to, or you think I can?
You're not allowed to. She's serious.
So now we'll get to watch this big balloon take off. You can see it rocking back and forth here.
Big balloon.
Before it goes,
yes,
it's released. There it goes.
A noisy balloon for all the people that watch the balloon go off live. It was just a really noisy balloon.
You should hear that shit from the inside.
And here,
you know, when I saw the first launch, I was a little bit unhappy that it didn't take off all gracefully like the old Saturn V's used to. You know, the slow ascent. It basically shot off the launch pad like a bullet.
It does.
I was expecting the graceful rise like the old Saturn V's used to do. All right,
that's what the Saturn V's only looked like they were going up gracefully. Trust me, I've talked to a few people. And yeah, the ride on the inside is actually pretty smooth, but let me tell you, all that noise, holy shit! You think you're actually going to explode? You really do.
Even from
those balloons are noisy.
Agreed. All right.
It's about the time the main engines light up that you realize that you're actually sitting on several thousand tons.
Oh, Patholo Blue asks, has Jism done his bucket and pole test yet?
Hell no. That's our bucket.
I am shocked. I am so disappointed, he said, without even a trace of honesty.
He did promise a 1-week warning, and we said,
yeah, well, you're talking about sitting on tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of freaking high explosive. When the main engines light up and they light those candles on the side, oh yeah, you get the impression really fast just how dead you're going to be if anything goes wrong.
Oh yeah,
and of course that would relate to that specific impulse issue where all of that funky little physics and chemistry can actually calculate why the fuel is as big as it is and how much mass is required and so forth and so on. Calculations being things that Jism has never done.
Well, Squirrel.
Believe it or not, that math was really easy to do in my head. Trust me.
Well,
at that moment, I was perfectly clear. What?
Squirrel, as to the violence of the explosion atop which they were riding, I can definitely agree with that, because something that was not even in the same category. Remember the I don't know, what was it, about a year ago, the orbital ATKs returned to flight after that nasty little disaster they'd had a year before. I was at that one. I was about where we were was about 1.5 miles away from that launch, and at 1.5 miles, your lungs vibrated. That was the one time in history I said, "God damn it, this is a better sound than my Harley." But the force from a mile and a half away was such that I know exactly what you're saying. I get the feeling you might have a little more personal experience with this than I, but I can extrapolate.
Only a little.
Only
a little.
Only
yeah.
a little. I can extrapolate.
What it was like. Put it this way: what it's like on what it's like in that stack is, yeah. Oh dear, they need to soundproof that way better.
All I can say is I wish I had listened to my mom and studied harder, because I would love to be one of those guys. Anyway, here we go. Let's continue with this bullshit.
I'll tell you that story after the stream if you really want.
All right, here we go. Oh wait, now or at some other point?
After the stream.
Oh, after the stream. Okay, I thought you said after this. Here we go.
Here's a view that they tell us is from space, but clearly you can see that that is a view from a plane. Here we are watching the arm move away from the Spartan satellite, and of course, if you watch the shadow, it doesn't move. That certainly seems legit.
Why would
so
it?
Now what I'll let you do is enjoy some of your great American heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Astro.
Okay,
Knots.
Now, may I, just for a moment, if anybody is actually paying attention to the detail here, that is not actually a shadow. It is actually a piece of black cloth.
Interesting.
That is actually part. That's actually part of the. That's actually part of the heat shielding.
I did not know this.
And that shielding is there to protect the spacecraft, and I might add the arm, from being damaged while they're busy depositing it where it goes.
See,
that shit will once they fire up the motors on that shit will fly off and then go down.
This is why I love doing what we do, monetized or not. Is that while we're doing it, none of us knows everything, but all together we know a hell of a lot. I learn something every show. Here we go.
You can actually look at it. It's actually just black cloth.
Indeed. Now, from him saying shadow, looking at it, my brain said, okay, shadow. And it did appear
to be a shadow.
And it did appear to be exactly that. So,
but it's not.
Indeed.
You were letting your mind be manipulated by Jaren. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Indeed. Jaren is employing mind control. All
that
right.
is an actual physical object. And if they were actually doing on a Hollywood set, the shadow would, and it was the shadow, it would still move. So, fuck you, Jaren.
All right. And thank you for that information, Mr. Squirrel. I love seeing Squirrel. Here we go. All right.
Here's the we have hard dock. Oh no, we can turn this audio down.
Yeah, doing so.
Before you get hammered.
Apparently, Jaren still has not learned how to normalize audio levels.
No. We need to turn that music off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but then
aren't they doing a good job of editing all the bubbles out, though? I'm impressed.
That they are.
Yes, in real time, no less.
That is pretty amazing.
So you need to turn that music off before we get a copyright strike.
And what would happen then? We would be unmonetized?
No, they can put a strike. No, at that
yes,
point,
I know.
I
agree, but keep in mind. Now, how are we going to know when he starts BSing again?
You can check it.
Anytime you put the sound back on.
All right.
Turn the sound back on. If it's still running the music, you can turn it right back off.
All right. If we keep it less than. That's right. If we keep it less than 8 bars.
You shook when you
not over yet.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed by the bubble work. It's very now the astronauts are going to have sex.
Oh, don't even try that one, Archie. I'm telling you now. Don't even try it.
Don't you belong to the 150 Mile High Club?
No, nobody does.
Wouldn't it?
Okay.
The mechanics of that are entirely too difficult.
Although
condoms in space.
Although being in a near perfect vacuum, wouldn't that make things bigger?
Well, all we need to do is to open up Jaren's head, and we can find as close to a near perfect vacuum as it is in nature.
Indeed.
Well, this is true. I agree. I am completely in agreement with that assessment. Yes, sir.
I wonder if it's all if it's
just not a sign of a bubble or not a single scuba diver flipper gear.
Yeah,
I'm really they're doing a very good job on this one.
What are we supposed to be getting from this?
I don't. Okay. Go back a few seconds.
All right, hold on. Here we go. Going back.
A few seconds where you see the guy right there.
Okay.
You know where that camera is situated?
I know not.
That camera is actually an armature that is attached to the payload. Believe it or not. There's another one. There's another one directly after it, and he's getting ready to float over a third camera that is at the front end of the cargo bay. There's also a camera on the end of the arm.
Okay.
As well as any number of other cameras that they can use to get a good look.
I think Jemshin has just spoken
and
for
the
all of
orangey
us.
stuff.
I think
the orangey stuff is made from pure goldfish.
Take a look at the public chat. Take a look at Jemshin. He has just spoken for all of us. I'm fine with this. I don't care if Jism ever talks again. This is nice.
This is nice.
All right, let's roll the tape. He's probably gonna wrap this out like this. I don't know how much longer we
the information content climbs abruptly the less Jaren talks.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now you remember I was talking about the little cables on the belt with the
yes.
That was you just saw it with the carabiner.
All right.
Guys will do anything.
This is those orange suits you're seeing are actually the launch suits. We take them off shortly after.
Wait, we've got talking going on. Hold on.
Talking?
So let's be nice to Commander Day.
Hold it back. All right.
Whoa, ow!
I'm sorry.
That's also let's be nice to Commander Day on the shuttle. The other guys will do anything I want, and all I have to do is ask for it. And they were really great. And so, but the other side of it is then I have to turn their niceness into a nice landing. Unfortunately, we had bad weather in Florida. I was looking for.
Let's watch this one more time. This is the orbiter coming back into the atmosphere, I guess. Poof. Poof. I don't know what that is.
What? You got anything to say about his poofs, Squirrel?
That's between him and his consenting partner.
Gotcha.
It's not
actually. Yeah, poops is between Jared and whoever it was. Yeah, see, that's actually a nominal flight profile coming down. Because what they actually do is it plunges through the atmosphere, and then once it picks up enough, once it's got enough speed and enough air thickness to actually glide, it does that.
You mean
that's the thing that it will do?
So then, well, at least journalism
if
admitted that he had no idea what was going on.
We'd be using the Blue Danube. In this case, because it's Jaren, it's the Blue Dumube.
Now,
okay.
Do you know why it's tilted on its? What do you know why it's tilted like that?
I am just waiting to hear, Squirrel.
Okay, what they do is to bleed airspeed, to bleed energy coming off, because you come down at quite a clip.
I would imagine.
Okay, to bleed energy, they make wide S maneuvers headed for their landing, heading for whatever landing site they're looking for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you're not underpowered. It's just the cutest little glider you've ever seen at that point.
Yeah, there are no engines to generate. There's no way to generate engine power at that point. There isn't.
They tried rubber bands, but that was proved unfeasible.
Really?
It didn't work.
Think of the risk. Think of the risk these folks were putting themselves. Yeah, I mean, you get one shot at landing. That's all. There's no fired up go around for another landing attempt. I mean, you get one shot and that's it. That's,
Now, is little Nimrod claiming that this is faked, or that there actually is a space shuttle that they have dropped from the stratosphere, or what is his argument about what the hell we're seeing, or does he ever bother thinking about that?
We don't know what his argument actually is. I doubt he's actually thought it through, whatever it is. However, I will tell you that it is possible to give yourself a little bit more airspeed if you fire up the OMS. You can do that if you're going to be short of the runway, but they really prefer you don't.
Indeed. Let's see, a brick with wings. I heard it described to me by an astronaut as a falling washing machine. That was how he described. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that was used in Apollo 13 too. They had that analogy.
Yes, that was actually
you could make a washing machine fly if you got enough power on it.
No. What Blanche Lovell said to Buzz and Neil and one of Jim's kids, Susan, I believe it was, they said, "Don't worry, honey. If they could get a washing machine to fly, my Jimmy could land it."
Oh, could land it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's entirely possible to land. But the thing about the thing about being able to make anything fly if you put enough thrust on it was a reference to the F-4 Phantom made by a Marine Corps sergeant, whose name
Jemison reminds us of a good point. Our astronauts spend a lot of time hurtling around mere seconds from death, and then Jism calls them all fakers and phonies. What an ass!
Absolutely.
What do you think? Why do you think I'm so pissed off right now?
That is an insult to people who actually accomplished something. I mean,
somebody owes me a bottle. I'm telling you right now. Somebody owes me a freaking bottle.
Well, I'll tell you, I've accomplished some stuff, but when I was just speaking to K-Hire, that I felt like, why are you even answering my questions? How do I even deserve for you to speak to me? And this person who has done nothing
is calling all of us assholes, fakes, and liars.
Absolutely. I find that very offensive. All right, here we go.
That's all I know.
That's all I know. Why do I find that hilarious? All right, here we go.
Click.
Oh, click! Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Click coming.
You don't know Jack!
Alrighty.
Okay, let's go.
Alright. Oh, yeah, we're closing in on it, too.
So, as always, believe what you want. You want to believe you live on a ball spinning and flying.
Oh, Harry, I have an echo. I think I might be getting some feedback. Squirrel, it may... Are you in your headphones or are you using speakers?
I have headphones. Why?
All right, because occasionally I'm getting an echo of myself, and it was just mentioned. Anyway, let us just move on. Look at Fino, 2 sides for the price of 1. All right, nearing the end. Here we go.
Through space, you're free to do so. If you want to believe in a place that you have never been and a spot you'll never go to, well, that's on you, not me. I'll keep asking questions and pointing out the obvious fraud of not just NASA.
Okay, asking questions and pointing out the obvious fraud. There, he said it. When next time he says, "I just ask questions. I'm just in bed." He said it. He's pointing out the obvious frauds.
But each and every space agency and private space company. So be kind, don't lie, and open your mind and find your own truth.
Oh, he changed it. Remember, he stopped using the "open your mind, there's truth inside" because we kept making fun of him for it. And he used to include it in. He'd just say it in the end of his videos because he was so in love with it. He couldn't get rid of it entirely. Now he's changed it. Okay, interesting.
Find your own truth.
Find your own truth.
Everybody's truth is completely different, and there is no actual reality.
Yes, reality is it's a very transitive thing. Yes, sir.
We've got to stay on top of this guy for when he does that. For when he does that experiment, because I think I'm going to get arrested.
I think the operative word "when" is the inaccurate part there. I think it's like "if," as in if being something that none of us are going to live long enough to see.
Well, he did publish an update on it. That he changed some things.
I have every intention of living long enough to see that one.
He has modified the specifications. I think less poles or something like that. But as far as I know, as soon as anyone, if someone hears of, he actually mentions the date when it's going to happen, please make sure we know about it immediately.
So we can descend on him like avenging harpies. Yes,
absolutely.
I understand.
And we will not interfere with his operations. We will.
No, we will just watch derisively and laugh.
Absolutely, while performing the experiment that should be done.
Actual science and something which will actually do the very thing that he insists can't be done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Except if we are going to assault him, I want first hits.
Here we go.
Jemson says he still hopes the bucket and pole are for freezing Jaren into a Jaren icy pop.
Jaren pops. Yeah, let's let this wend its way out.
Time. This has been Jarenism.
Well, thanks,
It's
Jaren.
big, but it tastes terrible.
All right, Miss Audio Normalization is your friend, Jaren.
Please like and share if you enjoyed this video, or if you were vomiting and had pus leaking out of your ears, which most people would be. Let us know.
No, I'm in entirely too much of a rage at the moment. Kent Hovind is going to be a breath of fresh air.
We can't start Kent. We can't do well for two reasons. One, Paul's not available.
Very long.
And,
yeah, Paul isn't here. It's only fair.
He's been.
You need to have a fresh mind to see the subtle nuances and ingenuity of Kent Hovind's boringly repetitive arguments.
He's been waiting for us to have a nice creationist one for him to descend upon and destroy. She's pretty damn good.
I don't know if it would be. I don't know if it's going to be Frank Borman I don't know if it's going to be Frank Borman or Jim Lovell. I know they're fairly close.
Oh, that is referring to Fino's argument about who should be the one to punch Jared in a room of astronauts.
Let us be cautious. We do not want to imply that we
promote violence
or promote any kind of violence. Of course, we're talking about verbally.
Indeed not.
All of this is verbally.
Yes, purely CGI violence.
It's a metaphorical type of violence, really.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's like the scuba diver bubbles, just purely fictional and CGI. All. CGI.
No. You want to know who I want to get to take the first swing? Let's get Jack Swigert.
Metaphorical swing. All right, the first metaphorical swing, indeed. All right.
See, here's the thing. Jack Swigert died of cancer many years ago. We'll dig him up so he can take the first swing.
Even then, he could handle it. Yes.
All right. Well,
that would also certainly disconcert Jaren more. To be beaten up by a dead person.
Indeed.
By a skeleton.
And honestly,
where's Ray Harryhausen when you need him?
And honestly, he'd be more than capable of refuting Jaren's arguments, since they're basically self-refuting. All right.
Well,
so
you have to realize that Jaren spent the second half of the video poning the first half of his video. Hey, please, we didn't even need to be here for this one.
Agreed.
All you did was piss me off unnecessarily.
Agreed. In a lot of these cases, we don't even have to do the show. We could just post a link to the video. Everybody, anyone that is here, that is watching this, is fully capable of watching that and just basically mirroring everything we say, plus a few new things, I would imagine. Anyway,
yeah, well,
all right.
Yeah, I get a. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Cooney says he'd love to see Laika beat up Jaren. That, of course, is the first dog in space.
Yes, she was.
All right. Okay, we did have Kent Hovind queued up, and that was for if Mr. Paul was able to join us. Maybe we should save that one for when he is.
Yes, indeed.
How about we warn him that we're going to do it next week, and then dare him to show up?
Dare him? Dare him? You try to prevent him from destroying the creationist.
By the way, what is the title of Kent Hovind's fabulous video that we will be roasting perhaps next week?
It was about the lies in the textbooks.
Yes, CSE.
Ooh, yeah.
CSE
Yeah, where he's
103.
basically running off of the
Yes.
textbooks of like 30 years ago.
Yes, CSE 103, Class 1. Topic: explanation about the lies in the textbooks. Wouldn't it just be explanations of the lies in the textbooks? Anyway, by Kent Hovind. It's an hour and 8 minutes.
See, here's the thing. See, here's a fun thing for you.
Yes.
He had, for his class, he actually passed out textbooks scattered across the 20th century, from 1911 all the way through to 2001. I think or 98. I think was the latest date I heard. He thinks he might have had a couple of 2002 textbooks at the time, but yeah, no. He's like, and he mentioned, hey, you've got the 1921 textbook. The same thing about DNA in there. And my first thought was, no, duh.
So it shocks him that science revises itself and continually improves. That bothers him for some reason.
He doesn't seem to think it's actually improvements. He thinks that that the scientists are covering up their lies.
Aha, of course they are. There's my echo again.
All you need to do to understand the nature of Kent Hovind is to remember that he is the Donald Trump of creationism.
Aha. Okay. All right. All right. So, shall we wrap it up? You think? And then
I think we should probably do that.
We'll notify Paul, and so he has a chance that if he desires to
give him fair warning.
Indeed. So.
And make sure you pass him a link to the video.
Oh, indeed, will do. And you know what? One more for Jaron.
You don't know Jack.
There we go.
There you go.
That was kind of necessary. Oh. And let's see. There was something else. We're not going to be seeing that whole O-face game thing anymore because I received actually a very good message on Facebook from one of our viewers who was quite correct that someone watching just one of those videos and not the prior ones where we
might get the wrong idea about what was going on.
No, it was some really it was some kind of sick stuff. That was what was going on. Anyway, the point was we were doing two things. One is it appeared that we were not attacking. We were first off. It was only one. We only picked one person because that was the person that we had debunked prior with their whole angel invisibility cloak or whatever the hell it was. Someone who had not seen that would assume we just picked a female only at random, and we're just doing something against female, which is true. We didn't do that ever with a guy. Not that we never would have.
And the need to explain what the hell was going on would have been longer than the O-face show.
Right, and not that we never would have. If we found somebody suitable for it, could have been a guy just as easily, but it was not. So it appeared to be a crack on women in general, which it was not. I'm sure none of the panelists were thinking that it was, but that's how it would appear to someone who did not see earlier videos. So she was correct in sending that. And secondly,
it is a thing that can be easily lost.
Right. And secondly, it also appears to someone who had not seen the earlier videos that it is basically not assaulting their ideas, but that we would be basically doing what we accuse all others of doing, which is the ad hominem, which we do not do. We try to refute the ideas and not the person. And to someone who had not seen the video that we did refuting her angel's invisibility cloak nonsense, it would appear to be just that. So for anybody that thought that was funny or enjoyed that, I am sorry. But and the message that I got, by the way, was not an angry message. It was someone that said they were sad that that was what was going on. Oh, here's Kevin. Cool.
And poor Kevin will be disappointed. But such is the life. Oh,
indeed. So hi,
Kevin
Kevin.
Jenko has suddenly materialized. We were just sort of talking about you.
What? No, we were talking about a topic.
About me behind my back.
Anyway, well, glad you made it. Well, I was just saying that I got a message on Facebook from one of our viewers, and it wasn't a hostile message. honestly. It was a message. It was a message.
Somebody who liked me.
Well, everybody likes you. It was someone who was.
You don't have to lie to me.
I'm the one that they don't like.
Somebody was sad about the whole O-Face game, just because of two things, and I agreed that it appeared that one, it was just against women only because we had not done any guys yet. Not to say that we would not at some point, just we didn't come across any that.
It was incredibly sexist. We all know that.
Agreed. And secondly, it was to someone who had not seen the earlier show where we did debunk her foolishness. It might seem like we were just doing an ad hominem. So
yeah.
To anybody,
the thing is that first time that we did it, it was completely by accident.
Yes.
Where every time we said stop, she was in the middle of an O-Face, and we didn't mean to do it.
Absolutely.
It just turned out to be perfect.
And remember the number of you who were 18 sheets into the wind and therefore had a natural incentive to regard the extreme sexist nature of it as something that seemed okay at the time.
I mean, come on, I'm a Berkeley liberal, and I will give permission to do the O-Face game. I think that counts. That counts. I've had a few tonight already, if you can't tell.
Yes.
You guys were only 18 sheets to the wind. You're slacking, dude. Quit it.
Just to fill Kevin in, we went through a Jaron video and determined that he was saying things that were stupid.
Yes. Yes, you missed that.
Wow, that's new.
Well, you also missed our starter from Ekin Reckon. It took us 45 minutes to shred a 10-minute video. It was great.
Yes, it was quite disturbing.
He showed us the dangers of giving a complete nincompoop a cell phone and having him do it in the vertical mode.
Wait, are we talking about Donald Trump?
No.
Don't give an idiot a cell phone, because if it's like that book, if you give him
that's another matter entirely. Yeah,
give an idiot a cell phone, he's going to want to tweet, and if he tweets, he's going to want to say something misogynistic.
Indeed.
I'm pretty sure that's how the rhyme goes.
That's his nature.
Nah, not really.
Remember, the president is only 6.
Okay, hold on. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, very good. Let's see. Fino says, let's be honest, the game has survived. I guess you mean outlived its usefulness. Months ago, because you guys simply suck at doing good pauses anyway. Yes, we do. We always seem to call them wrong. But anyway, it was, and I'm telling you, the message that I got on Facebook was not a hostile one. It was someone who said that the idea that we who promote science, although we do it in a sarcastic way, we do promote science,
and we're proud of it.
Indeed, we were doing something that she thought was a little sad that we would do. So anyway. So for those of you who were hoping there was an O-Face game coming up, there's not. So there we go. Okay, there's one. All right. Squirrel's off doing stuff and things. And so Kevin, what's been going on? Any updates for us?
Oh, is it that time? Are you doing plugs already?
Yeah, honestly, we did the 2. We were holding up. We have a Kent Hovind, but we were going to hold off for when Paul is available because that's really his forte, and he does it well. You don't want to
waste all of that long Kent Hovind without a proper set of people to slice and dice.
You know, if you want a really stupid video, Sargon of Akkad. There you go. Great stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody is as clued in on the atheist community as I am, but Sargon of Akkad is this British douchebag who's become part of the sort of far-right atheist movement. And he got into this huge argument at Myth Information, I think, or MythCon, one of the two, with Thomas Smith, who's a well-known atheist podcaster. Has a show called, used to be Atheistically Speaking, and now it's Serious Inquiries Only. But so he got into a huge argument and basically got a bunch of his people in the crowd to cheer about raping women. So great. Just great asshole.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, but the point is, end of that is I'm going to be having Thomas Smith on my podcast coming up this week to discuss where the fuck this far-right atheist group came from and how the hell we stop them.
Didn't Sargon of Akkad used to be relatively rational? I mean, I'm talking 2-3 years ago. has he just recently become a wacko, or has this been going on for a while? I've not really been following him too much.
Well, he's sort of gotten into, like I said, he's sort of gone far right. And in my mind, as far as I can tell, a lot of this, exactly, whoever wrote that, I can't read your name on the thing, that's what he tweeted in the comments there. But whoever...
Demographically, right-wing atheists are kind of atypical.
It is atypical.
And, for the record there, Hayev, he did not, it wasn't a female prime minister, it was a female member of parliament who was making the claim that, all men are pretty much all men were rapists. That's a thing.
Well, that wasn't what she was saying.
That's what I took out of her tweet. So,
well, there's more to it than that. But
I'm sure there's more to it than that. That's not the issue.
But and people like that who are just far right wing for whatever reason have gone that way.
Wow, that's disturbing. All right, and Fino, you had asked about any real science. Remember, this is a drinking show with a science problem. What you're talking about is Sunday Science, which occurs.
Or my evolution hour. Either one. We've got the other side covered.
RJ, I don't remember. What day do we run Sunday Science?
I think it's on Sunday.
It's on Sunday. It's on Sunday.
Yeah,
there you go. Sunday Science. That's all we talk about. It's not this stuff we do here. And
I put my Wednesday evolution hour on Wednesday because otherwise people would be confused.
Whoa, what the hell's going on? Are we having stream issues?
I think they have dropped a few frames. No, you haven't dropped any frames. Apparently, it's a thing.
No,
pickup.
Actually, stream help.
Steven says.
I'm checking now.
Can you click the hide? Can you click the thing that's marked hide there?
To what? What the hell are you talking about?
Down at the bottom of your screen.
Yes. Sorry, I wasn't looking. I was looking at the other screen.
I've only had one glitch up on my evolution hour. I've been kind of lucky on that, and hopefully that'll continue to be.
According to
you look like you're doing okay. No drop frames.
Yeah, according to YouTube, our stream is 100% nominal. Looking good. Okay.
Ooh, that sounds nasty-ish.
That's okay. YouTube's been acting a little weird lately. I mean, we saw, and even Hangouts was acting a little weird a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And plus, there's the thing that occasionally, if processing takes too long, they just put up what has been processed. And usually it starts somewhere in the middle of your video, and then about an hour and a half later, the rest of it's
sometimes the gerbils running inside of the little hamster wheels can get pretty tired, and it takes a while for them to catch up.
No, they need to. That's because they haven't bought them enough methamphetamine yet.
I see.
Ah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, people are saying their stream dropped, but I have it open on my screen, and it's working just fine.
Indeed.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, if anybody's interested in that, you can hear Thomas Smith. He's going to be on my podcast this week, or a bonus podcast we're putting out, where we're going to talk about that. I'm just going to pimp my podcast. That's what I'm here for. This Week in News with Kevin and Benedict. Make sure to give it a listen.
Do it. We love your stuff, man.
Hey, Kevin, when are you gonna jump in on my show as a gate crasher and be one of the people in the live chat thing?
Oh, that's all I do. That's all. Oh, Jesus. You know what we need to do on here? It just popped because of Fino's comment right there.
What would that be?
We need to do a men's rights activist video. We need to do one of those.
Interesting idea. That is an excellent suggestion.
Depends on how much debate you want to make it there, Kev.
There's a MRA, heavy air quote sarcasm documentary called I think The Red Pill. Because that's a big thing for them. They're all into the Matrix. They're a bunch, bunch of online.
Yeah, I think I've heard vaguely of that and kept far away from it for want of not wanting to have to shower.
It was made by this girl who she wanted to actually take a look at the MRA movement, and she wasn't able to get any funding for her documentary. And then, as soon as she, sort of contacted that community, and they found out, they started flooding her with cash to make her documentary. So it's very much skewed towards their side, where at the end she says, I'm just not a feminist anymore.
My.
Interesting.
That
would be a great one to do.
I would tend
Fino
to
asks, will there be wah-wah music?
where there is where there is Kevin, there is always wah-wah
Kevin,
music.
there is wah-wah-wah-wah-wah. We expect it of you, Kevin. You have a standard to uphold, low though it may be.
Oh, people want to get into this right now. Okay, Jemshid. So the red pill, blue pill scene is similar to Plato's allegory of the cave. If you're interested, similar to the allegory of the cave. Once you've taken the red pill, you can no longer see things through the eyes of the ignorant. That's the idea. Just had to get deep there for a second.
Deep is good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, if there's anything that just really gets the crowd going, it's Plato.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All righty. So
next to Schopenhauer, you know, or Wittgenstein, you know, you really play the heavy cards.
Guys, we're going to do a Descartes reading now on the show. That's the next thing up.
Yeah, well, just remember on chronology, never put Descartes before the horse.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we have to. If we're going to do Descartes, let's do Schrodinger first.
Oh God.
Or you could do Schrodinger second, but you wouldn't know because they're simultaneous.
Right. There you go.
All right. So there's men's rights. Whatever happened to the MGTOW group?
They're being annoying even for the men's rights folks.
I see. Okay.
They're turning into some seriously bitter people. Most of them are quite damaged.
I see. All right. And okay. You know what? I think okay, I already mentioned Sunday Science. Can't remember what day we do that, but I already mentioned that. What else do we have to cover?
I think it's probably the day after Saturday.
Yeah, that's it. That's how I remember that. It is the not Saturday show. Got it.
Right before Monday. It's really wedged into a narrow window. Although the day will be different once you switch over to standard time. Got to watch out about that one.
Crypto, you are wrong. The MGTOWs do actually still exist, which is sad because these guys are turning into assholes on an extreme level.
That's there does seem to be a fair amount of that on the internet. So
I think we need to have like a telethon there for assholism. You know, as yet there is no cure.
That is true. Some research does need to be done. Okay. You know what? While we're kind of degaussing from all of that from all of that stupid. Here, there you go. Everybody be happy.
Oh, unicorns! Happy unicorns!
Everybody be happy. Okay, there we go. And oh, Kevin, you missed the big news. We're demonetized.
Demonetized.
They're partially demonetized.
Everybody.
We're not considered We're not considered friendly enough for all advertisers.
We are not. Oh. We are not advertiser friendly. Oh, actually, the excuse said
I started out pre-demonetized. I'm ahead of you.
Indeed. So and not to worry, I will fund things as long as you know we can do that, and life will be cool.
You'll continue to fund your free YouTube channel.
Indeed. Absolutely. But
I don't know what little I get my hands on goes to fund my channel.
Honestly, it's the freaking trips that cost. It is not this show. This show is fun as hell. But no, there's no cost here. All right. Oh Jesus, that makes it sound like we were actually getting some money from monetization.
Yeah, hallucination world.
That's silly. I must have nodded off and landed in some happy dream. Anyway, anything else up that we should know about, Kevin?
No, not much. I mean, everybody can go check out my website, kevinandbenedict.com. It's where we post all of our podcasts. We have 2 podcasts, actually. This Week in News with Kevin and Benedict, and This Week in History with Kevin and Benedict, where we pick a item from history every week and let people know what happened. So that's pretty interesting. Our website, we also have blog posts that me and Benedict do. Mine is called My Soapbox. And I just wrote this week an article entitled, Is Donald Trump the right president for right now? Which I got a few angry tweets from people who didn't actually read the article.
Well, there's something new. There's something new.
But yeah, so go check out our website. Listen to our podcast, of course, This Week in News with Kevin and Benedict. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. All that good stuff.
All right, and Kevin, I would.
When I see your tweets, I make cogent comments. As I
know you do. You always do.
I would say, Kevin, if you would not mind sending me via whatever means you see fit, links to everything you just described, because thanks to these guys yell and drink every 3 seconds, I have already forgotten everything you just said. So
that happens on this show.
Please send me links that I might post them in the description.
It wasn't every 3 seconds. It was an average of 30. Thank you.
All right, that was true.
It
all
just
right.
seemed like every 3 seconds.
3 mugs.
Time dilation occurs during Jeranism.
3 mugs. That's all I have to say. 3 mugs. We've gone.
Hey, it took you 3 hours to go through that last time.
Indeed, this was a somewhat compressed time frame. All right, let's see. All right. RJ, do you want to do some shameless plugging? Tell us how cool you are, what you do, and all that sort of thing.
Shameless plugs. Yeah, everybody can go to my website, www.tortucan.wordpress.com, where you can find links to my YouTube page. You can find links to the books I've written. Everybody in the world should buy them. Hint, hint. They're really good. Also, they can download all the material that I've been putting up, trying to dismantle creationism one source at a time. They can follow me on Twitter, where I fillet creationists like mad whenever I have a chance, and also make snarky comments about Kevin when I see him popping up on Twitter. And the Evolution Hour that I do every Wednesday, thanks to you getting me involved in this kind of shtick. I'm trying to questions and talk about interesting stuff and do all sorts of fun stuff. So indeed. I don't know. I don't know whether or not whether I have power to be able to put the damn website up on the feed over in here or not.
I believe you have
a wrench. It's going to go. Oh, I do. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
All the portal will be there. I put up the thing, tortucanwordpress.com. And like I said, they got. I've got Evolution Slam Dunk, which is the book that flattens creationism as never before, and the Paralogues of Phileas Fogg, which is a nifty, rip-snorting mystery science fiction novel, which everyone should enjoy, and everyone who has read it seems to have enjoyed it. So I'm happy about all that. And plus, I'm an impoverished writer who needs to have enough money to be able to live, and eventually even reach the stage where I can actually buy fresh ink to keep doing stuff.
Indeed, and I will agree with you. I have not. I only have the Evolution Slam Dunk, and I will agree with you. Read the book. You'll have an answer whenever an answer is required. When someone is,
it's the perfect thing. Nobody had ever. If it was the case that I was just repeating what somebody else had done, well, Richard Dawkins covered that just beautifully. No, he didn't. This was a big hole. If anyone complains about, well, there's no evidence for macroevolution, you can go au contraire, the reptile-mammal transition. And this was never covered properly by anybody before. That's why I had to write the damn book on it. And what I did then was not only pull all the information together, but I also covered literally every creationist that's ever bumped into this and the intelligent designer. And so you will know all of the field in a way that if they try to come back at you, well, have you read John Woodmorap? And you can go, oh, let me tell you about John Woodmorap. So you'll be totally armed to be able to deal with that. Plus, there's a bunch else in there, and you'll learn shit.
Indeed, learning
and you
shit
read
is
your
good.
fucking Gordon Wood, and you think you're so fucking smart, eh?
Yes, indeed. And then on the novel, just Pheno 3000 asked, does Ted Cruz then disprove RJ? My Ted Cruz certainly disproves the idea that right-wingers can't play along with that little click button on the pornography. But anyway,
Ted Cruz just disproves the idea that humanity is progressing.
Yeah. Well, I've never had that. I've never had that opinion one way or the other. But yeah, for people who have a little more money flushing in there and like read fiction, I think they will enjoy the Paralogues of Phileas Fogg. I'm about 3/4 of the way through writing the second novel. I really love the characters, and that will come down the pike in due course. So if you like strong women characters, and you like strong men characters, and you like electric guns and submarines and airships and watches that are more than watches and combs that are more than combs, Phileas Fogg is the book for you.
Okay. I may have to look into that.
There's 3 ducks in a man costume, Crypto says. Yeah, that's about it. He's got this weird smile that they analyze, that it's like an upside down smile, which is why he kind of creeps you out. whenever he comes on screen. Plus, he's
one of the
a right-wing ideologue who hasn't had an original thought in 30 years.
Well, he has. It's actually been a lot longer than that. Ted Cruz is an idiot and in charge of science policy in the current administration.
That's a little disturbing. Right.
Oh, yeah. All of these dear people that serve on committees and all the rest. And, of course, our new head of NASA.
We don't talk about him.
There.
Yeah.
We don't talk about him.
Yes.
The NASA folks were terrified of him, and now they've got him. And they're hoping he goes away very quickly.
Well, he just got the job because Garfield the cat was not available. Let's see.
Wasn't available, yes.
What do we got here in the chat? The last evolution.
I thought it was that my racist uncle wasn't available.
The last evolution hour had just a little too much drunk guy last time. Okay, I hope you did better this time.
He was. He sort of apologized after that. He was a Scottish fellow, and I tried to kind of steer things back onto. But that's the thing you go through when you bring people into the network on there. It was towards the tail end of it. I'm just happy that I had never fallen into the trap of having Edgar on the show. I realized that was not a good idea.
RJ, your friend.
Yeah, keep dreaming, RJ. He'll get to you eventually.
RJ, your friend wants.
Oh no, he's gotten to me already. I bumped into Edgar in many cases. He haunts the various videos I put up, and he keeps on posting the same shtick and trying to lure me in. But I was delighted when I finally got to see the Edgar Kent Hovind discussion, because it was inadvertently very interesting and revealing. First of all, because Kent Hovind said that he understood Edgar, telling you something right there. And then the other thing was that Edgar freely admitted that he was a young Earth creationist, and which he has never done in any other context. So that was inadvertently very interesting. Method's approach is always there to look to see what you didn't know before.
That's because he was sucking up to Kent so he could stay on the show.
Well, I think it's that Edgar comes, I suspected he came from kind of a young Earth creationist framework, but of course he's got his little hobby horse going, and it was really fun. He apparently Kent just got tired of not having anything to deal with somebody who blathered even more than he did, and he finally just checked out and went on his way, and it took a while for Edgar to notice.
I saw that.
Here's something.
I know which one you're talking about now. I remember that guy.
Here's another.
Edgar he's such an amiable fellow, but he's a one-note Charlie, and he's one of these seat of the pantsers kind of creationists that are operating at the echelon below a Kent Hovind. He's not like a Kent Hovind who's simply copying creationist stuff that he saw 20 years ago. He's actually inventing nothing, and really not connecting up with any existing lore. So somebody like a Kent Hovind, apart from their mutual Christianity and young Earth creationism, doesn't really have a lot to intersect on. But it was fun to see.
There was something I did not take care of in housekeeping early. We normally do in the front of the show. And thank God Fino just made that comment. He said that one was drunk in the DFOTY Hangouts too. That reminds me, I have been voted in to be on the panel to choose the dumb fucks for the Dumb Fuck of the Year award. So there's some news.
I'm so honored that you would choose to bestow this award upon me.
That is.
I just want to thank not God and my parents.
I'm sorry, Kevin, but you are not qualified for the award because first off, you need to be a dumb fuck, and
I got to work harder.
I'm sorry, you're not one of those. Anyway,
well, if you go to Bob Jones University, you can get a degree in it.
So,
I'm enrolling in Biola.
I am on the panel.
If you're afraid to enroll to try Fallacious University, I will give you a PhD in dumb fuckery. I will edit. I'll even mail it to you personally.
You can do that on Kickstarter.
All right, there's a thing. Is there any way Trump doesn't sweep the awards? Okay, for Red's over on Red's Reddit channel, one of the conditions this year is it has to be someone that one of the panelists has personally communicated with. So unless somebody actually gets contact with
Donald Trump, which is a fate worse than death.
Actually, you need to have direct contact. As in, he actually has to speak to you.
Well,
not just kind of give a flat response.
Yeah, indeed. It has to be in a hangout or in a comment section, but there does need to be a response directly to. Yeah, that's just one of the reasons. So it's because who would not nominate? Who would not
with
nominate
those
Trump?
rules in mind, I'd like to nominate everyone who's ever responded to one of my tweets.
Okay, well, I've responded to that too.
All right.
I have actually gotten an occasional tweet back from Dinesh D'Souza, the little troll, so he would technically fall onto the ballpark. I've actually interacted with him.
Are you on the panel? Are you on the panel this year, Tim?
No.
Which is unfortunate. Because Dinesh.
Oh, there are many experts who are perfectly capable of measuring that group, and given the fact that I have a lot of irons in the fire.
So I have a question. I have a question there for you, Cy. Is Jism still disqualified?
He actually, they can't have received the award previously, and Jism has.
Yeah. Okay. So Jism is still disqualified, as is G-Man, I believe.
Yeah, and Jism's he's a weird one because he won our award, which, by the way, pretty soon we're going to be ramping up for that. Remember the Golden Tinfoil Hat Award, which is basically the same thing. We just put it a little more in decent terms, and it is a real award. And last year, Jism also won that, and he failed to provide a shipping address because although the actual award is it's a real trophy, and the name gets put on that for the year. You know what? I'll put a picture of that up next week.
Who on this call has been spending the last minutes digging for the last jelly bean in the bottom of a plastic tub?
Not I. I thought that's after. I thought that's post Halloween.
Fino says I was suggested, but was unknown to half of the nomination body. I am just umbraged. I would think anybody who had ever bumped into me in any circumstances would find it impossible to forget me, no matter how hard they try or drink. So
it is difficult to forget you there.
I got close one time, RJ. No, I'm joking.
You were just on the cusp of where there was suddenly a fog where you couldn't remember my name, and then suddenly, oh shit, it's back.
Now the Golden Tinfoil Hat for 2017 is awarded for performance during 2017. So it's up and coming. We are actually, there's a page on our website, SciStrike.com or sciencestrikeforce.com or science-denier-hall-of-shame.com. They all lead to the same damn server.
Can we give the award to anybody who's already calling Las Vegas a false flag attack? Can we just say fuck those assholes?
Yeah. Has Alex Jones ever got on your scope for a potential awardee?
No, I will tweet him until he blocks me.
That is.
I follow him too, and I always wonder, given some of the things I shoot at these people, you'd think, well, they could just damn click, and they would, but I don't think they read. They have so many people following them that they don't really pay attention to most of it. And of course, a lot of them are like Ken Ham. They don't really read anybody downstream. It's all one way ejaculations. They don't really interact.
Well, here's the flip side of that. Anybody, I would think the Golden Tinfoil Hat Award would go to anybody that we've actually covered this year.
Yes, yes, that is the case.
Which means as of the last 2 weeks, not only is Spirit Science up for an award, but so is Ekin Reckon.
Yes, that was a new one to me, and I thank you.
My name for Jones is Mr. Martian Pizzagator, and I always refer to him as that in all my tweets to him.
Very nice.
O'Reilly, isn't that Anthony Riley or Liley? Anthony Liley, as Sean Hufford refers to him, because he can't seem to let an honest word escape his mouth.
I think they might be talking about that that other Riley creature.
Bill O'Reilly?
No. No. Damn. Now I can't remember the last name.
I seem to think there's something that's just O'Reilly. I don't have my bibliography open to see if I've got something in there about that, so we'll just have to let that slide. It's late.
All right. Let's see. Super Rats has made a couple of Las Vegas Didn't Happen videos. We'll have to look into that too, because that is just offensive. anytime I'm as angry about that as I am about the people who disputed the Challenger disaster. Okay.
I can't miss this right now, but this just popped in my Twitter feed. Dinesh D'Souza tweeted a pro-Hitler tweet today. Since you brought it up, RJ,
Well,
I thought this is relevant.
It popped up. In fact, I jumped onto it because of the nature of it. What he was doing, he was actually, I saw him criticizing Chelsea Clinton, always without actually putting her tag up in the tweet thing, where he was saying, "No, I'm not a pro-Nazi," and I actually pointed out to Chelsea that technically that's true. What he uses Nazis for is a thing that he wants to hang on all Democrats. So it's not that he's pro-Nazi, he's anti-Nazi, but he's anti-Democrat, and he's arguing that all Nazis are Democrats and all Democrats are Nazis, kind of so, and they also favored slavery, and everything that's ever happened bad in the entire history of the universe is all due to the Democratic Party. And he just kind of rants on about that. And I've been taking it as my mission that whenever he puts anything up that relates to his big lie book, I will then jump in, and especially on his retweets of other people saying, "Oh, how wonderful your book is. I think everyone should read it." And I ask them, "Oh, have you fact-checked any of it?" Bible scholar.
Do you remember when he did that book where he said that Obama's America would, basically be nothing that actually happened? You ever think he's going to recognize that he was completely wrong about everything?
Oh, he's a Tortugan with a really thick shell. He's I describe him at various points as a sanctimonious prick, and that's his good side. But he falls on my methods thing from a variety of directions. He came on it originally because I was just paying attention to how many pundits, conservative pundits, how likely were they to be anti-evolutionists? Because I'd noticed that anti-evolutionists were almost exclusively very politically conservative. So I was measuring, your Ann Coulters and your Michael Savages and various other people, or whoever Savage, and Rush Limbaugh and all the rest, to see how many of them were anti-evolutionists.
Michael Savage, trickle up tyranny.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
For quite a long while, I used to listen to a lot of these shticks when I worked at the door shop making doors and stuff, and I would have headphones on that I would listen to the radio because it would act as like a sound deadener. And so I would be bumping back and forth from Jerry Falwell when he was still alive at that time. That dates me. And Rush Limbaugh and all the rest. But D'Souza came onto my scope because of a book he had written, What's So Great About Christianity, where he was defending the Spanish Inquisition as not so bad.
Yeah, that was
and my mouth dropped open on that one, and because I happen to have studied that in detail for chapter 6 of TIP. And what really amazed me, and I did a video, you can find the links to it on my channel. I did a whole thing on that. It was the very first Dinesh D'Souza video I did.
I think
on the Spanish Inquisition.
When Sean Hannity, after Michelle Obama's DNC speech last year, when she talked about living in a house made by slaves, Sean Hannity's response was to go onto his show the next day and do a opening statement on how the slaves who built the White House were treated better than other slaves.
Yeah, there's a weird pseudo-historical thing that goes on about that, because after all, that's also an area of
like the biblical slaves.
Reconstruction was my major area in college, so I'm kind of really a smartass on that one, like with dinosaurs, because I know it really well. Anyway, D'Souza, what was so funny about D'Souza, and it was so diagnostic, a lot of the stuff he does is bad secondary citing, but in this case, he was relying on a really good book, Henry Kamen's book on the Spanish Inquisition, and I recommend that Dinesh read it sometime because it didn't say what he thought it did, and it was really quite an amazing one. And then most recently,
I have a question for you, RJ.
Yeah.
Since you were the expert in that general vicinity, the claim that slaves were actually the ones to build the White House doesn't ring true. Is there a reason it's not coming, that I'm not connecting that? Or am I completely off base here?
Most of the hard labor, especially if you're down in Virginia, during that period, was done by slaves. You didn't have a non-slave workforce for all practical purposes, but there are a lot of people even in the mid-range engineering level and a lot of the technical area that was being done. There's a lost history in an awful lot of scholarship, not only for blacks, but women and other minority groups that, or you can be a majority in the case of women, that just get pushed out of this field. It's not that they didn't exist, it's just people forgot to take notice of it. And now that we're in the 21st century, so much of the historical work is available in a way that wasn't done before. It isn't as though every slave was maltreated. And even in Jefferson's case, you've got a big mix between the Hemmings bunch and some of the others that were going on. But, and we have to remember too, most of the people, most of them weren't slaveholders. It was a relatively narrow elite minority that had most of that stuff. And so there was a great deal of class that went on in there. It's a big, complicated issue. But the slavery thing is also a particular one that I liked poking Dinesh at, because, of course, he wants to saddle it all with the Democratic Party, which is a half-truth, like with the Spanish Inquisition arguments that he makes. They're kind of half-truths. Because what else party would you be? Because the only other party was the Republicans, and they were an anti-slavery party. So this kind of was duh. But the thing is that when you looked at who were the people favoring slavery, they had something else in common with being Democrats. They were also conservative religious Christians. And he doesn't want to think about that little fiddly bit detail. So I'll toss Reverend and a lot of that other aspects in there, that if you look at it from that demographic of anti-evolutionism, that culture camp word that I use to describe the culture war mentality, that's actually the defining characteristic into here. If you look at people who were pro-slavery conservatives back in the 19th century, the racist band, they had a lot of the same attitudes about culture and about race and about elitism and that have today, even though he's not a supporter of slavery, or although he's tried to rationalize it wasn't really so bad as everyone said. And when you have a mind like Dinesh, who pretends to be a scholar, but in fact is a terrible jerk, and relies upon very sloppy scholarship, that has policy implications. The idiot like Jeranism doesn't have any effect on things. But Dinesh D'Souza can go to the White House, as he did in August, and lecture on in a little presentation about his big lie argument. That's actually going to impact the kinds of things that the narcissist in chief listens to, and feeds back ultimately into policy matters that are going to go on in civil rights issues and about equity and voter demographics and all these other things that are being done that are going to have a lasting bad effect. So we jolly well better not pretend it's not there. It's having an effect.
All right, Tornado Pelt. Yes, sir. We are on every Friday night until further notice.
Indeed.
Or unless advance notice is given.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, I love my little wind down times on this show. It's hours away from reality, and I'm watching idiots on the flat Earth and all the rest. But it's also fun, and it's silly, and you get to kind of hone your wit. And
yes, Fino,
it's
is
an
correct.
Entertaining diversion.
You are correct, Fino, about midnight Eastern, which is about 9 p.m. on the same side of the continent as RJ and I.
And a ridiculous hour for our European friends, which...
Yes.
yes, they need to. Well, they have to catch it not live.
Well, some of them do. Yes, Jeranism is dumb fuck. Yes, and Jeranism also proves that vacuumism is possible because that's what he's got in his skull. All right, so... shall we move on with the plugs or no?
Oh, actually, you know what? I had a little more housekeeping to do.
A little bit more.
Which we should have done at the beginning, but I was all stuck on that. Hey, we've been demonetized. Whatever. Right. I'm on the panel for the Dumb Fuck of the Year Awards, which is quite an honor. And secondly, this Sunday, I'm not sure if it's going to be stream worthy, but we at ScienceStrikeforce are doing our civic duty. We'll be at the Juvenile Diabetes, the JDRF walk here at the New Jersey Shore, providing communications, for the health and welfare stuff, the making sure all the walkers have
excellent
water, all of that sort of thing. That will be occurring on Sunday. If it is live stream worthy, then it will be happening. I think it kicks off around 9 o'clock Sunday morning. And that walk happens every year. And we will be participating in that. Just in case anyone was thinking we're just drunks that sit around and make fun of Jaren. We're not. We actually do stuff.
Well,
So-
I can't. Unfortunately, I can't be. No, he can't be. He can't be nominated for Dumb Fuck of the Year again. He's already been. He's already gotten an award.
Right.
All right.
So tell us.
I
Tell
don't
us
know
about you,
anybody else,
Squirrel.
but I can't be at the Jersey Shore at 6 a.m. in the morning on Sunday. My wife would kill me.
I'm sorry you can't make it. It would be nice to see you here. But if Jaren announces a week ahead of time, I'll see you then.
You will. Absolutely, because I'm definitely going to that after his performance tonight.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Much as I'd love to get involved in the cause, I can't do that from here since the walk's on the Jersey Shore. I'll let you know what is going on this end if I can find out.
Not to worry. Anything that any member of Science Strike Force does is attributed to the whole group, not to an individual. And that's how it's always been. So fear not. You, by being a member, are contributing to the JDRF. Anyway, why don't you tell us how cool? Why don't you tell us how cool you are and what you do?
Right. Let's see. Okay, couple things. We're going to be first off, if you like your video games, and I know some of you probably do, especially folks that I know from some of my previous that used to be members of the previous live stream audience. I do run a gaming channel at Lord Crocker Squirrel. And I'll put links for this channel and the other one, the one that is being opened here soon, to deal in some more of the into some more of the side stuff. Going through some of the backlog of just complete creation stupidity. We'll do some flat Earth and some. We'll do some flat Earth and some more geocentrists and all the stuff I used to do way back in the day. We're going back. I'm gonna my friend Lovely Kitty and I will be going back and doing some more of that, and some videos of some other types, which will be fun. She and Kevin are not going to agree or even necessarily see eye to eye, but that's okay. Everybody's entitled to a voice, regardless of what side they're on. I'm more of a centrist, to be honest. So yeah, those two links will be appearing in the chat right about now. Let me give you just do this one thing right here, and I'll push this button, and I will give the rest of you these links. The new channel is the second one there, and it has no content yet, but that will be rectified over the next few days.
Okay. Very nice indeed.
So we're going to have, yep. Also note that for the second channel, I will be going back to my original name for that purpose. I will not be Lord Crocker Squirrel on that channel. I will be Kage Shinma. So a lot of people that will remember me from the days long gone, back about the same time Gamergate started. Yeah, they'll remember that name. We won't have quite the issue with the people won't be thinking, well, who's that guy? Because they'll probably remember. Actually, believe it or not, high up, he's already done that. He has already declared that Kerbal Space Program is proof of the conspiracy.
Lovely. All right.
I would love to see a flat Earth mod for Kerbal Space Program. I'm actually trying once again to learn it. I put horrifying numbers of hours into it already. I still have to learn how to get into a reliable orbit. And you know what? Tornado Pelt, I will actually look into that. FASA. I will get it. I will go get that. I will go get that promptly.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah. Just make sure when you send it, it's already packed in with the mod. That'll be great. All right.
Oh, RJ, your friend has asked to interview me on his channel. What could he?
Yes, indeed.
What could he possibly ask?
I think
Everybody
it would be
already knows.
delightful.
everybody already knows.
Well, I'm sure he'll come up with something.
But
yeah,
everyone already knows I'm sarcastic, hostile, and unpleasant. What more is there to learn?
Well, then he will probe the various nuances.
You forgot flatulent. Flatulent was on that list.
Yeah. There will be. It'll be like Terry Gross, accent on the gross.
No, I've given up on the flatulence. I've gained a little weight after, but
you're
still.
The angry Garrison Keeler. That's what you are.
There we go.
All righty. Well, that's,
although Garrison Keeler's takedown of Trump was remarkably adroit.
You have not seen angry yet, sir. Trust me. You have not seen pissed off until you catch me in the middle of somebody that's actually ripping up something I know.
Crocker Squirrel, you're a little like yipes! Just something flashed out of my head in the producers. The angry one.
I was not pleased. Not by the fact I was displeased by the fact that the video even existed, and that Jeranism is the mind that managed to shit it out.
Hey, since Kevin, did you just jumped in, and thank you for joining us. But did you see the opening?
No, I was out. I was out tonight. I just got back.
This might entertain him. Why don't we show him the opening again? What do you think?
Okay,
show the opening.
I'm good. We can run out on the opening. I'm good.
Here's the no. We're gonna play that cool song again for the closing. But here you go. Yeah, Kevin, take a look at this.
I'm watching. Pretty.
Not the best part yet. Here it comes.
It's advertising. It's not even advertising.
The pug's got just the expression for it.
Yep,
that's good.
Oh, by the way, I didn't want to spoil your day, but you missed the letter D in advertiser.
Oh, get the hell out!
No, I'm not going to do that.
Well, I remember
that would be silly.
A Crocker Squirrel. You're like Zero Mostel caught on a hot stove.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah, that was it. We are advertiser unfriendly these days, according to YouTube, which is cool. I'm. What is it you young folks say? Down with that. All right. On that note,
one more thing for anybody who may happen to be in California. If you are a fan of secular government, which I think we all are,
indeed,
the Free Thought California Free Thought Day is next weekend on the 15th at the California State Capitol building. So make sure and go join that if you're interested and you want to be a part of that.
Now, for those who are unable to attend, will you be covering that event?
I might be. I haven't decided yet if I want to drive out there because that's a good. It's an hour and 45 minutes from me. I might be going because Thomas Smith, who I said is going to be on my podcast this week, he's a speaker at that. As well as a bunch of atheist figures like Richard Carrier and people like that. So I might be going. I haven't completely decided yet, but I may go.
All right, because we'd all be pleased if you were covering something that was not so dangerous as usual. If we're kind of used to having you alive, and we'd like that to continue.
Well, look, my dream is to someday go report in a war zone. So these protests out here in Berkeley come close. They're training, if you will.
I see. Understood.
All right, guys. Pug. All
right, let us bring on the pug. This is like we're doing the after show during the show. This is just not right.
Yeah, we are.
Here comes the pug. And thank you, everybody, for attending.
Bring on the pug.
Couldn't do it without you.
Bring on the pug.
Here come the pug. Ah, look at Happy Pug. All right. Banter, guys. They're supposed to be
banter.
Lighthearted banter. Porphyro Lang.
What mic is that there, Kev?
Oh, this is a MXL 660 or 6.
Well, how much that thing rode you?
That's about $90.
Yeah,
really great mic for my voice because I have a lot of bass.
Yeah, I'm not as much of a bass as you are. That's probably true.
For people who love, I love audio recording. I do a lot of it, obviously. And the MXL, this is the 660 or the 770. I don't remember which one.
It's in there somewhere.
770. This is the 770. So you just sort of got to play around and find one that fits your voice well. I have like 5 microphones that I've scrapped because I didn't like the way they sound. You just go through them.
I've been working off of headset mics and this Logitech HD1080.
You can, you can get like a cheap lavalier mic that works great. I have a couple. Obviously, like the crown jewels or like the Rode mics. Those things are fantastic, especially if you do a lot of video. The Video Mic Pro is sort of like the standard for people who do a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near that kind of budget, I tell you.
I got a knockoff ribbon mic from it's a Chinese knockoff. I don't even know what it's a knockoff of, but those things are beautiful. It only cost me about $80, and I don't use it on here obviously because of compression; it would be wasted. But for the ham radio communications, I've been told that it's insane. It's supposed to be of the caliber that, like, remember David Letterman had the one that he used to keep in a little velvet box?
Yeah.
It's like that. You need, of course, you need a preamp like with all the ribbon mics, but still, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I go for cardioid condensers just because they give you the best studio sound. Cardioid condenser mics are just like the standard. But there, other than that, there's a lot of mics these days that are USB plug and play, so you don't need a preamp or anything like that.
Yeah.
For Benedict, my podcast partner's wedding, I bought him a new microphone setup. I bought him the Scarlett Pro Solo or something like that, which is just a microphone interface. And it's about $100, and you can plug any XLR mic into it. It has nice preamps, gain and volume control, which is really all you need, and you can plug it directly into anything through USB.
Yeah, I was actually looking at a Blue Yeti.
All right, everybody, that's it. Show's over. Thanks for coming. Glad you joined us. Everybody in the public chat, couldn't do it without you. And we learned stuff from you, for God's sake. Thanks for coming. Good night, all. See you next time.